freezing cold rivals going at it on Wendy's CFL Live. Hi, everybody. Dave Randolph with you. There's Jock Climby and Chris Schultz. And yeah, like the Red Sox-Yankees thing, there's no curse here that I'm aware of. And if Angelo Mosca tried to put one on, it's not working right now, Big Ange, because the Ticats have not beaten the Toronto Argonauts in their last 7 meetings. If Toronto could add another win or even a tie tonight, they get second spot. It's a close matchup. Schultz, tell us about what you figure could be a difference tonight.
No, Dave, it really is a close matchup, but if there's one area that Toronto Argonauts have an advantage in, and that's obvious, I think it's the special teams. First and foremost, their coverage units are some of the best in football. They're led by Ray Marius, number 36. He's a former McMaster Marauder grad, and he's all over the place. Special teams, Noel Prefontaine, 16 for his last 16. And then the obvious, Bashir Livingston and Orlando Bruce, two of the best punt returners right now as a duo in the Canadian Football League. They can change everything, even between offenses and defenses. But the one advantage I see that could make the difference, no doubt, special teams. Jock for the Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah, they got a huge advantage there.
They do.
And if Hamilton wants to win this football game, I think offensively they need to overcome a bit of a potentially psychological edge that Toronto has. You know, Toronto has given up the fewest touchdowns in the CFL, and defensively you hear a lot of these guys trumpeting their defense as a quintessential bend and don't break. That is, we'll give up lots of yards, which they do, but they don't give up touchdowns. And you know what? Hamilton, when they've got the football, cannot allow that to play on their minds. That, hey, I've never bought into this bend, don't break business. There's no difference in terms of scoring, moving the football when you're in the 20-yard line or your own 20-yard line. It's moving the football. It's not like the NFL where there's a short end zone. There's lots of room to work with. So I think Hamilton right now, when they start getting down there close to the end zone, they have to be thinking, not thinking about all this business about Toronto not giving up touchdowns. Yeah. Run your offense and don't start choking up on that bat.
Yeah, Troy Davis ran for us for 230 yards last game, but we didn't lose the game. That's the ultimate rose-colored glasses perspective, if you ask me. We'll see what happens tonight. Here's the Rona poll question for this evening. Log on to tsn.ca, and we know that one of these two teams will face Montreal in the Eastern Finals. So, who do you think is best outfitted at this point to beat the Alouettes in the Eastern Finals? Log on, and we'll have the results at the half.
$6.25. $3. Like $4.50.
We got 1, 2, 50. I love you. Cool. It'll be about 5 minutes.
Money's tight when you're away at school. Your parents can help. Family Plan from Rogers Wireless. Cool phones share their minutes, and no matter where you are, they get the bill.
This fall, to save the world from falling apart.
There's too many of them!
One team
Hold on, Joe.
must pull together.
If there's still a world left when this is over, I'd like to buy you a beer.
Team America. Now playing only in theaters.
Take the Vector CFL Challenge to get into game shape and to burn and earn your free Vector heart rate monitor, a $30 value. Collect UPC codes on any Vector product. Then go online to access professional training programs developed by Team Vector players and certified CFL trainers, including agility, strength, energy, speed, and power. Burn your way through 5 training programs and you'll earn your free Vector heart rate monitor. So take the Vector CFL Challenge, fuel up, and get into game shape.
Will my car be ready this afternoon like you promised?
Yes.
Do you guarantee all your work, even general maintenance?
Yes.
Winter can be rough on your car, so protect it now with our winter maintenance package. Get an oil change, battery and antifreeze tests, tire rotation, and more for just $39.
Trust the Midas touch.
If good things come to those who wait, then great things come to those who hurry. The Mitsubishi year-end clear-out is here, and there's never been a better time to get great deals on all remaining 2004 Mitsubishis. For a limited time, come in for incredible offers, like 0% purchase financing for 60 months on all remaining new 2004 vehicles. So don't wait. Visit the Mitsubishi year-end clear-out today. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Okay, you guys, get ready to deliver. Every time a CFL quarterback gets sacked, he will take his weight in food to the home team's food bank. And TSN will keep track with the Purelator Tackle Hunger Sack Tally. So get out there and deliver. Purelator Tackle Hunger.
Crown Royal, proud sponsor of the CFL. Visit our website.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Wendy's, it's better here. By Molson Canadian, I am Canadian. By Rona, the how-to people. And by Rogers, your world right now.
Paolo Ferros of Calgary, you could win a 50-inch Prima Plasma TV if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in tonight's game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned, you could win $1 million.
Well, we might have a kickoff or two return tonight. We have some outstanding return specialists in this ball game. Round 3 of 4 between the Ticats and Argos. Greg Marshall saw his Ticats lose the opener against the Argos 34-6, but then on Labor Day came back and they played to a 30-all draw.
And it was one of the best games we've seen all season long. On the other hand, Pinball Clemens, boy, he's in a great spot. 9-6-1 currently, and 1 game away from hosting the semifinal, which you know his team would like to do in a couple weeks right back here at Sky Dome. A great motivator, and you know he's happy to have back number 9 as his quarterback tonight, a veteran to take them into the playoffs.
Damon Allen will start for the Argos. There's Jamie Borum, who will kick off tonight. We can call this the prequel to the Eastern semifinal. Bashar Livingston and Arlan Bruce III are back. We talk about outstanding returners. Both of these men are threats every time they touch the ball. Borum sends one deep to the 12-yard line for Livingston. Gets to his 25 and outside. Livingston down the sideline. Bashar Livingston will go all the way. Forget about him. He skips to the end zone. Touchdown, Argos. What a start. 96-yard return. Fireworks already.
Wow, what a return. They go to the right side all the way across, and Livingston just is very patient right here. Now he turns it on. He's got the escort with Arlan Bruce in front of him. He does not even need a block from him. What a start for the Toronto Argonauts. Blackie, you mentioned that they have got 2 gunners back there. You pick your poison. They picked Bashar Livingston, and he burned them with a beautiful return for a touchdown.
Well, that $1 million might go tonight.
My, oh my, what a start for the Argos. They've had great kick returns all season long, whether it's punt returns. They've got Arlan Bruce leading the league in punt return average. They've got Bashar Livingston that anytime he takes it, he gives up a little bit of ground right here. Now he lets it form. There he gives it up. Now he gets to the outside. Terrific effort by the special teams of Toronto. And my, oh my. Not the way you want to start if you're Hamilton coming on the road in a very hostile environment.
Well, he is the game breaker, and now ahead by 2 touchdowns. His coach, Mike Clemens, when Pinball played, you thought that record might be untouchable. He was always a threat. Pinball was to take it back. Bashar Livingston, in way fewer games, is the threat now, and now 10 touchdowns and counting, and you can be assured that Greg Marshall will be telling Jamie Borum to keep it away from Livingston. The only thing is, you have to give it to Arlan Bruce now.
Try onside kicks every time.
Yeah. So now the Argos will kick it right back. 7-0 Toronto. And the Ticats bring it up to the 40-yard line. Andre Gilliam with the return. Bashar Livingston out of the chute, 7-0, and Danny McManus already has a hole here to try to fill in.
Well, he's got a great group to work with, and you got to love Troy Davis leading the league in rushing this year. 1486 a few years ago. Hamilton couldn't get 50 a game. Now they've got the leading rusher, and they've done it with a terrific offensive line. 8-year veteran Dave Hack is back at the right tackle spot, and you know, for Danny Mac to be successful tonight, they have to run the football. They can't make things throw all night long.
Handoff inside. Troy Davis Mike O'Shea with the tackle. Davis, 233 yards the last time these two teams met. He shredded the Argos defense.
Well, and the defense includes young Kevin Ivan, his first year starting at that inside linebacker in the 3-4 defense. 2 tackles away from 100 on the season. Orlando Steinhauer, he's the leader with 4 picks and a very ball-hungry, ball-hawking secondary.
There's Kevin Ivan, 2 away from 100 tackles. McManus to Craig Yeast. Danny McManus beginning the night 87 yards shy of 50,000 in his career. But the Ticats will be short of a first down here and will kick the ball away, bringing out Jamie Borum.
And the beauty of Rich Stubler's defense, he obviously the defensive coordinator with the Argos, is they can rush 3. They can rush 4, bringing Bonner or Fletcher off the edge, or they can come with extra people and rush 5. But the beauty all the time is they usually get pressure on the quarterback, and they've got great coverage and good tackling ability back in the secondary and with their linebacking core.
So Arlan Bruce is back this time.
Yeah, only averaging 20.5 yards a punt return, the best in the league.
Borum, strong kick, sends him back to his 10. Bruce also finding some room. Arlan Bruce up to the 30, brought down at the 34-yard line. The Argos strike quickly. Thanks to Bashar Livingston, they lead 7-0.
Play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. Every time you swipe your Safeway Club card, you're automatically entered to win great prizes, including VTEX i5857 with color LCD handset featuring picture caller ID, bass and handset speakerphone, and recordable ringers for a PC or stereo. Or a 25 CD prize pack including the very best of Sheryl Crow with 16 hit songs and 2 new tracks. The first cut is the deepest and light in your eyes. Swipe your club card at Safeway today.
House back to the lake. And it's, I could afford it. I couldn't.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Scotty. How's dinner with Sarah?
Oh, it's good, good. I'm gonna head over to Jimmy's, and Sarah's gonna head home.
Okay. Just don't be too late.
Cool. See ya.
That's Scotty. Everything all right?
Remember our first date?
Share more minutes, share more moments with Family Plan. Only from Rogers Wireless.
Wendy's has a simply delicious way for chicken lovers to enjoy chicken. Our home-style chicken strips, big tender pieces of juicy whole season breast filet with your choice of 3 delicious sauces. Wendy's, it's better here. And our pickup window is open late.
It's more terrifying than the ring. This one is special. The Grudge. Opens everywhere Friday.
Hey, how about this? Paulo Ferris of Calgary, you have won a 50-inch Prima Plasma TV thanks to Safeway's touchdown to win and that kickoff return. If there's another kickoff return in today's game, Paulo wins $1 million.
Well, you can bet she's cheering for that guy, Bashar Livingston. Damon Allen starting for the Argos the first time since August 12th after his cracked tibia in Montreal. There was fears that night it was an ACL injury. It was not. John Avery gets the handoff. Here's the offense for the Argos.
And Arlen Bruce has really made a huge contribution since he's returned to the team. 191 yards a game, all-purpose yards. And John Fugel is back after missing last week with a sprained ankle. They need him at the right tackle spot, and especially they need his run-blocking ability as they elect to start the game with double tight ends here on their first initial series.
The pitch this time, Avery fighting for yardage. Ball on the ground, the whistle, however.
I don't know. I think it's live.
Head referee tonight is Dave Ewell.
Bubble on the play.
And so the Argos will have to kick the ball away. And here's Avery, who had a problem hanging on to the football. In fact, last week only had a few yards and only a few carries, and that was,
well, that's awfully
a
close.
live ball, it looked like.
I don't know. You'd have to really go back one more time and see, was the knee down? Regardless, Toronto keeps the ball. They come up short, and will have to give it back in a serious defensive stand for Hamilton early. I mean, they've been shocked by that initial kickoff return by Bashar Livingston, and now they have to try to regroup, and regroup is the best way to do it and stop Toronto's offense and get them out of it.
The best punter in the CFL, Noel Prefontaine. Booming kick. Jason Goss has it at the 15. Nowhere to go, and he is drilled by Mike O'Shea. 54-yard punt from the leading punter in the CFL, Noel Prefontaine. Mike O'Shea limiting the return to 2 yards. Here's the play. Avery looked like he dropped the football.
Well, look at the knee. Is it down? The knee is, boy, I'll tell you, that is close. I mean, the officials, that is a tough one to call. And, you know, we get the benefit of slow motion and 3 different looks at it. They have to do it at regular speed and game action. And, you know, that's awfully close to call either way. Watch for Toronto tonight. They dress number 98, Marvin Thomas, extra defensive tackle. They start off in a 3-man front, but don't be surprised if Troy Davis hurts them if they change to a 4-man, which they really haven't shown much of this year.
Lots of time for McManus, who does not get sacked very often. He gets a lot of protection. He also releases the ball a lot. McManus has had trouble hanging on to his team's possession in the past. He's given up a lot of interceptions throughout his career.
Yeah, he certainly has, 253 of them over his 15-year career. But you know, Donnie Mack this year, 25 touchdowns, 26 interceptions, but his team has only given up 10 sacks, which is the best. And you kind of wonder, does he just put the ball up to protect his offensive lineman sometimes?
2nd and 10, flag on the play. Downfield for DJ Flick. Catch is made up to the 45-yard line, but a flag on the play. Will it come back? McManus inching closer to 50,000, and it is offside against the Tiger Cats.
And the side judge, when he threw that flag, that usually indicates that somebody was offside.
Offside. Hamilton, number 5. Second down repeat.
Greg East offside on the play. He signaled holding but said offside.
It was offside.
Where the flag was thrown from the sidelines indicates that it usually is offside. Tough break for Hamilton. That was a great throw by McManus upfield.
So now 2nd and 15. Argos leading early 7-0. McManus over the middle. Good play call to Yeast. Picks up 13 yards, too shy of a first down. So once again, Jamie Bourne will have to kick the football away.
Pretty slow start for both offenses here at Hamilton, backed up with penalties. Penalties tough for them all season long. Danny McManus 88 yards away, Rod, tonight from joining some very elite company, being the third quarterback in CFL history to go over 50,000 yards.
So Borum again, good kick the first time, 52 yards. This time Bashar Livingston, who already took a kick back. Borum will be looking to angle this, you'd have to think, but he doesn't. Goes up the middle, a bouncer. And will be a no yards call. Livingston evades one tackle, trying to get outside, still on his feet, but a no yards penalty. And the Argos will have good field position for Damon Allen when we come back to Skydome on Wendy's CFL Live.
Wendy's has a simply delicious way for chicken lovers to enjoy chicken. Our home-style chicken strips. Strips done Wendy's way. They're 3 big, tender pieces of juicy breaded whole season breast filet flavored with our own blend of home-style seasonings. Delicious by themselves or dipped in one of our 3 tasty sauces. Creamy Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, or spicy Southwest Chipotle. Wendy's home-style chicken strips. It's better here. And our pickup window is open late.
And the wheel goes round and round. The wheel goes round and round. The wheel goes round and round.
Hey, new Juicy Fruit Blue is here, and I'm telling the world. Get your skis shined up, grab a stick of Juicy Fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it down. gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. The juice so soft, it gets right.
Sweet. New Juicy Fruit Blue. Sweet.
Well, tomorrow night it's Wendy's Friday Night Football from BC Place. And the Lions, who clinched the West. Thrilling victory. Dave Dickinson leading the Lions to the win last week in Montreal.
And how about Kahari Jones, a big win over Toronto last week in his debut. So that sets up a pretty decent matchup.
Absolutely. Damon Allen, Avery in the backfield. Hands to John Avery, finds a hole. John Avery bursting outside. One man to beat. Avery will be brought out of bounds. Rather roughly, as a matter of fact. A couple of penalty flags. A rough play probably tacked on to that. So a big run from John Avery, who's coming off a less than impressive effort against the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, and the key right here is when you're going to run off tackle right in here, you've got to get the middle linebacker. Baron Chia here gets blocked. He gets cut up in the wash with Chad Folk, the center, and that allows Avery to get the outside. A good cut to the outside, but initially, when you're going to run off tackle, you've got to block the middle linebacker, and Toronto did that rather easily.
Major foul.
That's a tough call. I mean, you could call John Avery on that one, and Wayne Shaw took a slug at it. Wayne Shaw got thrown out of the last game.
Hamilton, number 1. First down.
Avery got a face mask call against him, and there was a rough play call against Hamilton. So the two penalties offsetting each other. And the Argos will scrimmage from the 27, 1st and 10.
And they stay in that double tight end formation. They have not gone away from that yet in this first quarter.
Allen, another handoff to Avery. Damon Allen has not attempted a pass yet. Again, his first game starting since that injury in Montreal. Here's the Hamilton D.
Adriano Belli a week ago was not in. In fact, the last game between these two teams on Labor Day, he was kicked out. That's a terrific front four. In the secondary, Araban Justin back in the game. He's third game, couple of interceptions so far. Greg Marshall says one of the reasons why they get so much pressure up front is the secondary is playing better man-to-man coverage. It allows them to just go full steam ahead with their front seven.
Starting lineups brought to you by Tums. Tums tackles heartburn fast. Allen throwing first time tonight. Open in the end zone, Tony Miles. And it might be an interference call against Rob Hitchcock. Looks like it will be. Miles had a few feet on Hitchcock in the end zone.
Pass interference. Hamilton, number 2.
Well, no question. It's the throwback. It's a lovely pass by Damon Allen, but watch Rod with Hitchcock right here. And you know what? When you put that hand up without looking back to try to locate the football, you're just asking for a penalty call. Tony Miles had no chance to make the catch. But see, Hitchcock's head, if you don't turn your head around, try to locate it, you're going to get called for interference every time. That's a great call.
So the Argos threaten again. Allen behind center, takes it himself. Touchdown Toronto, and a penalty flag on the far side of the field.
Offside. Hamilton 94. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Damon Allen back in the lineup in the starting role. Another touchdown, a glorious career. This one just from a yard out, but he's done that so many times in his career.
Well, and I said it earlier, you know, for Pinball Clements to have his veteran quarterback come back now with 2 weeks left in the regular season and get ready for the playoffs. I mean, Michael Bishop did a nice job filling in when Damon Allen was recovering from the broken leg. But really, Allen, if they're going to take a run at the Eastern Division, it's going to be with Damon Allen, and he's been off to a great start tonight.
The 89th career touchdown for Damon Allen. 14-0 Argos.
5 years ago, I was surprised to find out that I had high cholesterol, even though I've always tried to take good care of myself. I spoke with my doctor and found out that high cholesterol can increase your chances of a heart attack or stroke. I also learned that for some people, it's not uncommon that changes in diet and lifestyles may not always be enough to effectively manage high cholesterol. So get informed, discuss with your doctor the treatment options that are best for you, and take action. Now I'm taking control of my cholesterol. So should you.
I've been a hog farmer all my life, but I ain't never seen anything like these Fram air hogs. Yeah! Crazy critters scaring the chickens. And the missus, too, to be honest. Mind you, folks can't wait to get their hands on them.
The Fram Air Hog High Performance Air Filter, designed to allow more airflow for increased acceleration and horsepower. They breathe in, you peel out. Fram Air Hog, hog the road.
Welcome back, Damon Allen, and welcome back to the sidelines, Claude Fegg. Claude.
Seen already, the return of Damon Allen has certainly been a major plus for the Argos, but of course, with the maturity and growth of Michael Bishop, who was 4-3-1 as a starter this season, it can only be a good thing for the Argo quarterback tandem for the next few weeks. Center Chad Folk told me that unlike a year ago, the best part is that the O-line doesn't really have to adjust greatly with either quarterback in there because both can run and are very athletic. Ken Austin, the offensive coordinator, says having two proven QBs is always an advantage, and of course more so against this team, guys, because both Allen and Bishop have led the Argos to 30-plus points against the Ticats this season.
All right, thank you, Claude. Chris Martin bringing that back, but it will come back because of a flag on the play against the Tiger Cats. And Danny McManus operating from deep in his zone once again.
Holding. Hamilton 84. First down.
Danny Mack is 71 yards shy of the 50,000-yard club. A very elite club, as a matter of fact. And here's what he's done against the Argos in the two regular season games. The first, a blowout loss to the Argos, and the second, that 30-30 draw. 2 picks, 1 touchdown. And a whistle. And what they did in that Labor Day game was run Troy Davis left, Troy Davis right, and Troy Davis up the middle for 233 yards.
Hamilton 59. Still first down.
That's Wayne Smith, the young, terrific rookie offensive guard for the Ticats. But you know what? Already now you're 1st and 15 on this drive. Last drive, they were 2nd and 15. And I mean, Hamilton's offense is a good offense, but it's a balanced offense. It's not a run and gun like you used to think of Hamilton. And these 1st and long situations are just tough for them to convert.
McManus
oh my,
is picked, and it's a touchdown. Clifford Ivory. We talked about the interceptions, and Ivory makes McManus pay.
Well, Blackie, this is the second time Clifford Ivory's taken one to the house. Earlier in the season, he did it, and now he just reads the situation so well. But Danny Mack looking back inside, and Clifford Ivory, look at the jump that he gets on the football right there in front of Mike Moriali. No chance for Moriali to try to even break that up. And things are just getting out of control for the Ticats early, and for Toronto, my oh my, 96-yard kickoff return, touchdown by Damon Allen, now a pick by Ivory. What a start.
Their offense have scored, their special teams have scored, and their defense has now scored. 21-0. Clifford Ivory's 3rd interception of the season, and Greg Marshall and the Tiger Cats are reeling right now.
Well, you know, this is where Greg Marshall really needs to take his group and either Greg or his offensive coordinator, James Parisi, and just get the offense together and say, look, there's Parisi on the left right there, and he's a first-year O coordinator for Greg Marshall, but the offense has got to just get some first downs, and, 21-0, yeah, that's a tough start. But they've got to just get some momentum, get a couple of drives going, and try to just stop all this disastrous stuff that's happening to them.
Otherwise, they will be coming back down the road in 2 weeks on a Friday night to play against Pinball Clemens and the Argos in the East semifinal.
Rod, it's so interesting. Toronto as a team scores 19 points a game. And you see against Hamilton here, in the 2 previous meetings this year, they had 34 in a win and they had 30 in a tie. So for some reason, Toronto, regardless of how they score, whether it be special teams, defense, or offense, they're in a real comfort zone scoring points against Hamilton.
Shortish kickoff this time. And the best news for the Ticats, no flags on the play, so McManus with at least some field position to work on. Again, if the Argos win or tie tonight, they will host the East Division semifinal. If the Ticats win, and then based on what happens next week, they could host the East semifinal. Now, if they want to avoid the tiebreaker, they have to win by 29 points. So right now they're going to have to score about 50 points.
I think you can take that one out right now.
All right.
I think that's
a long way to go.
That's a pretty good. I can't even add that differential.
But here's the thing. 21-0. Look at the time on the clock. 6:14 to go in the first quarter.
I mean, if you put a blueprint, Schultz said in the studio, and he was dead on, special teams could be really the difference in this game. But if you put a blueprint together for early in the game, you have a kick return touchdown, defensive touchdown, offensive touchdown. Like, what's left?
The Ticats have to respond. And over the middle, the catch made by Mike Moriali. Moriali's having himself a career year. And they are going to hurry up their offense, it looks like, as well. McManus is going to get his team to try to get some momentum, anything, a sniff. Because right now it has been all double blue.
Well, you got to love Mike Moriali. I mean, 418 career catches. I can't believe he's had that many, but he's been around for a while, and he's been a super dependable receiver. He only averages a little under 12 yards a catch, but he's done it 70 times for the Ticats this year.
Former Argo, of course, and the most outstanding Canadian back in 1998.
And you know what? A good guy. Just a generally good guy that works hard every day.
He is, and he's having a better year than even 98. First and 10 for the Ticats. Troy Davis, head down. Has about 4 yards. And right now, the Argos front line and linebackers are really keying in on number 32.
Well, I think when you look at Troy Davis and you're going to play against him, you better get your little extra air pumped into the helmet on defense, because you're going to have to try to stop the run. And Labor Day, that's what he did. 233 yards, couple of touchdowns. Now, granted, that was a couple of extra possessions in overtime, but what a game that was.
2nd and 7. And again, the catch made and brought back is Moriali, but let's see what the spotter says. And it looks like it's going to be very close to a first down. And at this point, the Tiger Cats either got to get something on the board or they got to keep going. And it will be very close. In fact, they might have to bring up just a half yard shy.
And I'm sure they'll go for it. And the one intangible, and he's coming back into the game right now, is the fullback, number 33, Julian Redlin. I mean, really the Ticats, the only team in the CFL these days that really uses a lead blocking back like Julian Redlin. And I think the guys in the studio talked earlier when Charles Roberts had his best years in Winnipeg, he had the big blocking back in front of him. And now Troy Davis, one of the main reasons why he's leading the league is because 33's in front of him, and 245 pounds. He's like a small guard. So
that was another number 33 in Winnipeg too. And Mike Sellers went down to the NFL, of course. Miss him in Winnipeg this year. They're missing a lot, the Blue Bombers are. So 3rd down gamble. And plowing for it over the middle is Julian Radlin. former UBC T-Bird. And so they'll move the yardsticks. And right now, the key for the Tiger Cats is to get some points on the board in this first quarter and try to quiet this crowd. Because if they think it's loud right now, imagine what it's going to be in a couple of weeks for the East semifinal if the Argos host.
But you know what, Rod? Hamilton's doing exactly what we said they had to. I mean, 21 points is a lot, but you got to do it one series at a time, and so far this has been a good drive.
Davis reverses field and picked up 2 after it looked like for a moment he would be stopped for a loss. Troy Davis has broken the Ticat rushing records in his time in Hamilton, and is also inching closer to the Ticats single season rushing record held by Jimmy Edwards. And 1,486, that was before tonight's ball game, including 9 touchdowns. Manis in the shotgun. Over the middle, Moriali again, and they're saying no catch.
I mean, that's too bad. That was a great read. Toronto came with the all-out blitz, and Mike Moriali, the veteran, as the number 3 receiver in trips, cuts immediately to the inside. That's the vacated area. They read it perfectly. Here's Moriali, number 3 inside, and that's the right read. He just should have been able to hang on to that football.
Not too happy about it. That brings out Jamie Borum. Borum, whose field goal helped beat the Ottawa Renegades in overtime. This one from the 44. Is it enough? To the left. Out of the end zone emerges Livingston.
Oh my.
And some blocking. Livingston down the sidelines. Bashard Livingston. Is he going to take another back? Yes, he will! Oh, my goodness! 114 yards. Already brought back a kickoff. Now a missed field goal. What else is this guy going to do?
Well, look at the formation. The field goal cover is the toughest kick to cover because you're in so tight, and the Ticats really never get it set up. One block, one more by Mike O'Shea right there, and then Michael Fletcher does a terrific job to stay with his man. A little dipsy-doodle right here. My, oh my, this is, talk about a blueprint for success.
Pinball, who set the standard in Toronto for that stuff, has been vaporized in the record books by Bashard Livingston. He wears number 23. The guy's the Michael Jordan of turns.
Oh, my.
Yikes. 28-0.
Coffee and Coffee Crisp. They both taste great, but which one best suits your lifestyle? First, Coffee Crisp. And now, coffee. Coffee Crisp. Now, coffee. Coffee Crisp. Once again with coffee. Clearly, your lifestyle's better suited to Coffee Crisp. Chocolate wafers mixed with a fun coffee taste of French vanilla and triple mocha. How do you like your coffee?
Well, under the heading unbelievable, Bashard Livingston taking a kickoff back to start the game and a missed field goal. And Greg Marshall, you'd think he'd be upset with his team, but right now he's upset with the officials. And he's saying that the Argos were holding on that return.
He's upset about Michael Fletcher, who was really the last one to take Livingston into the end zone, and kind of looked like a hold from up here. But you know what, Blackie? This all wouldn't have happened if Borum kicks a 44-yard field goal. So, I mean, you got to think about that. Like, all of a sudden, instead of 28-0, it's 21-3. Hamilton gets some momentum. They've scored on a nice drive. And, you know, I'm not putting all the pressure on Jamie Borum. He's a good young man, but 44 yards, professional football. You got to make those kicks. It's indoors. It's not too long for his range, and then none of this stuff happens.
Well, you got to make the kicks, especially when number 23 is back there, Bashar Livingston, and not many returners might even be thinking about taking it back.
Well, he is
every single time.
Yeah, and if it's not him, it's going to be Arlen Bruce III.
So the Tiger Cats are hot on the sideline right now.
He's a bright young defensive coordinator, Cape Reed, only 30 years of age, and this is his first shot at being a coordinator. And you know, for the most part, he's a huge reason why this team coming into tonight is 8-7-1.
So,
but really, I mean, I think the point's well taken, though. Eh? The kid makes the field goal. None of this stuff happens.
28-0. Greg Marshall doesn't know what hit him. 2:17 to go.
A bus with number 23 on the front.
Yeah. But it's been everything. It's been Livingston. Penalties have not helped the Ticats either with field position. The pooch kick this time brings it up to midfield. And again, paramount now that Danny McManus finds the end zone for the Ticats if they have any hope in this game. 37 yards away from 50,000, but that's not even on his mind right now. Actually, 51 yards away. He has 37 tonight. That would be the last thing you would be thinking about.
Well, I think so. And, you know, when you break records, you want to do it on a winning note. I know 99% of the players would think that way, and Danny McManus would be no different.
McManus complete for a first down to Craig Yeast.
Craig Yeast, 934 yards coming into this game, so he should easily get over 1,000 this year. Probably the only Ticat receiver with an opportunity to do that. But what I like about Craig Yeast, I mean, he's a good possession receiver as he made the catch on the hook there. But this guy can get vertical in a hurry because he averages almost 20 yards of reception, and that's a big number for a slot back.
Shotgun McManus over the middle. Oh my! And a double whammy and a flag on the play. DJ Flick just got hammered.
Kenny Wheaton really had a free shot there, and DJ Flick, who's been a real bright spot since he came over as a free agent, gets a real test. There's Kenny Wheaton, number 30 in the middle. There you see him putting a beat on. That's a free shot, and although he didn't really get 100% of DJ Flick, don't think that the next time Flick comes into the middle, he's going to be thinking about either Wheaton or Steinhauer that's normally in the middle, and Flick is the injured ball player. You know, he played with Ottawa last year, and this year he's over 1,000 yards and 60 catches, had 60 a year ago, so you know he's going to be better than his production in Ottawa.
Well, the Cats came into this game riding a 3-game win streak. They have won 4 of the last 5, and everybody's talking about the revival in Hamilton of Tiger Cat football. Thanks to great ownership, Bob Young and his crew. Attendance records, they have absolutely turned around thanks to Greg Marshall. A 1-17 season from a year ago, on their way to the playoffs. This is not what they want to see going into the final week of the season and into the postseason. And for the Argos, this is kind of reminiscent of last year when the Argos were staggering a little bit in the second last game of the season at home against the Montreal Alouettes.
They hammered them.
They hammered them.
Hammered them. In fact, I think you and I did that game.
Yeah.
And of course, that built up some momentum, and Toronto, obviously, as folks will remember, went into the Big O in the Eastern Final and could have easily won that game. But let me just correct. I think Craig Yeast probably would get 1,000, be the only receiver. Obviously, DJ Flick is over that mark right now, so they should have 2 on the season.
Well, they also would have had Archie Amerson,
yes,
who was very close. He's out until the playoffs, if they can get him in for the playoffs. And you know, he's a big weapon they're missing as well, Archie Amerson.
Yeah, he's out definitely through this next week, and hopefully they'll have him back for the Eastern semifinal.
Yeah, he had to undergo surgery for a torn cartilage in his knee, so they would love to have number 9 back. Troy Davis picks up a couple of more yards now. 2nd and 6 into the red zone now for the Tiger Cats. 30 seconds to go, first quarter. The Argos have absolutely dominated. Davis plowing and close to another first down.
Interesting how Hamilton runs quads to the wide side of the field and elect to run backside with Troy Davis, and really you just have to make sure that your right tackle on the backside there, Dave Hack, gets a good seal block, and there's been lots of nice running room for Troy Davis on this drive. Lovely formation to create some weak side running room for Troy Davis.
So they move the yardsticks, 1st and 10 from the 15. McManus looking end zone to the goal line. Touchdown, Craig Yeast.
I'll tell you, that's a big drive, Rod. You know, we said it last series, and they may have had a field goal, but to their credit, 28 tip, they had the fortitude to come back. And Craig Yeast with a nice series personally as he made a couple of good catches, and Danny Mack with terrific protection up front. Look at the time he has. He gets to step up on that front foot with clear vision downfield, over top of Bonner, threads the needle into Yeast, and the Ticats are on the board.
Did they ever need that right now? Talk about a sigh of relief down the QEW in Hamilton. The Ticats are on the board, and there's a lot of time left. 3 quarters, as a matter of fact. But they're going to have to play a lot better, and they're going to have to find a way to shut down Bashar Livingston and the Argos. 28-7 Toronto after 1.
At the quarter, brought to you by Reebok, the only brand that hangs in every CFL locker.
Wow. Well, to say that touchdown by Craig Yeast and the Hamilton Tiger Cats was huge, I think is a bit of an understatement. At this point, an absolute nightmare for the Tiger Cats in the opening 15 minutes of this football game. Bashar Livingston, we could give away $1 million tonight. If he returns another kick. Stay tuned. It might happen in a second here. Let's talk about the first kickoff return.
You know, Dave, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, 28 points and 2 kicks returned for touchdowns. But let's watch Bashar Livingston, because I want you to notice there's some methods behind his madness. Watch this very subtle dip inside right there. That is enough to just bring the defenders in one step, and that sets up the blocks towards the outside. That is done on purpose. That is done through good study, and then the speed. Another thing here, watch number 5, Arlan Bruce. He doesn't make a block. Usually you say, man, can't make a block, but perfect example of not trying to make a block, staying away from a clip and a penalty.
Yeah, it was a pretty incredible quarter.
Yeah.
You know, and for Hamilton, they're reeling a little bit right now. And my point is going to be about a situation that's been happening all year, and that's guys jumping offside in the receiving core. And Craig Yeast has been just about the worst offender of this, of anybody I've seen in the CFL this season. He's a young guy. He makes plays, and we saw him make a play earlier, but this took away a huge Hamilton Ticat first down. We've been seeing this, not just Craig Yeast. More receivers are guilty of this year than I've ever seen before. It's a lack of concentration. Something has to be done by the coaching staff to put that to bed.
Well, he made up for it with the touchdown to draw the Ticats back within 21 after 1.
Wendy's has a simply delicious way for chicken lovers to enjoy chicken. Our home-style chicken strips. Strips done Wendy's way. They're 3 big, tender pieces of juicy, breaded, whole-season breast filet flavored with our own blend of home-style seasonings. Delicious by themselves or dipped in one of our 3 tasty sauces. Creamy Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, or spicy Southwest Chipotle. Wendy's home-style chicken strips. It's better here. And our pickup window is open late.
Well, look at these numbers. Some of these things just don't belong here. Wow. 0 yards passing for the Argos. They haven't needed to pass.
Well, it's pretty funny. I mean, when you think about it, Hamilton, you know, they had 2 drives. They missed a field goal. It goes for a touchdown, but they have a good drive, score a touchdown. But think about it. 21 of Toronto's 28 points came in the matter of about, what, 1 minute, 45 seconds, or interception, 2 kick returns. That doesn't take long.
Jamie Borum will do everything possible to keep it away from Livingston, and he kicks to Bruce. Bruce up the sideline. Fumbled the football. The Ticats say it's theirs. The officials right there to say it's Toronto football.
I think clearly Toronto ball. Nobody touched it. It got popped out of bounds.
Have you ever seen the double-barreled possibilities returning with Arlan Bruce and Bashar Livingston?
Well, you know, it escapes me right now. There's the knock out of bounds. Rob Hitchcock with the hit. I'm trying to think back of the double-barreled tandems in the past, and Montreal when they had Keith Stokes.
You have a great mind, so...
No, I don't have a great mind. Zero recall.
Well, 0 yards passing for Damon Allen so far.
Still double tight ends for Toronto. Kind of unusual. They haven't been out of that this whole first half.
Miles, the former Cat, has a first down and the first completion for Damon Allen here tonight. Damon Allen, you talk about Danny McManus and all the yards. Nobody in CFL history has more than this man, Damon Allen. 63,000 plus. The 41-year-old who just keeps on ticking. Avery in the backfield. Gets the handoff and is cut down.
Number 20, John Avery, the ball carrier.
John Avery was something to prove this week, Leaf.
Pretty funny comments a week ago in Calgary when there was some cold weather. Argos lost the game, and Avery was clearly quoted as saying, after the third play of the game, my hands were frozen, I couldn't feel the football, and we need a dome stadium in Calgary. Well, you're not getting that, John, and I guess my only question was, what did you do all those great years in Edmonton? I mean, it was pretty chilly out there.
Well, they're domed here tonight. 2nd and 8. Allen on his back foot, open is Bruce. Another big gain. Damon Allen came into the game last week against Calgary, went 19 for 23 in the loss. Again, his first action back since the injury. And another big pickup. 27 yards to the former Bomber, Arland Bruce.
Well, Damon Allen looks awfully comfortable here. Engineered a touchdown drive earlier when he quarterback sneaked it into the end zone for the only offensive touchdown they've scored, and now once again putting a nice drive together.
Allen's 2 for 2. Avery up the middle.
John Avery, the ball carrier.
This Argo team up and down this season. Everybody knew the defense would not crack. They are such a strong defensive unit. The question was the offense would it get untracked, and John Avery, of course, question marks around him after his knee surgery in the offseason. He's had some good nights and some off nights.
Yeah, well, I think they're really trying to establish him tonight, and the score indicates that you certainly have an opportunity to do that with staying with this double tight end. It's just Avery, and more Avery.
2nd and 4. Allen, rush on. Here comes Montfort. Here come the Cats. Damon Allen is almost at midfield. He better get it away. And a huge loss, and Damon Allen knocked out of bounds by a couple of Hamilton players. And you cringe every time you see Damon Allen near that sideline.
Well, you do, and it looked like there was a bit of a late hit by Johnny Scott there outside the out of bounds. Tim Cheatwood finally chased him down, and boy, the fun starts here. Play action. Here's when you want the ball gone right now, and now the fun starts as Montfort breaks through, and Cheatwood. Look at the uncanny ability of a 41-year-old quarterback to buy himself some extra time. And you know what I said, Johnny Scott came in a little late out of bounds, but he didn't even come close to hitting Damon Allen, so he is totally exonerated on that.
It was a year ago when Damon Allen smashed into that TV card on the sidelines.
Right.
Some people thought he wasn't the same for the rest of the season after that. Noel Prefontaine from 39 yards.
And riding a 16 for 16 streak that is now over.
There,
no, I waited till after he kicked it.
Yeah, you said it. You jinxed him.
No, I didn't. I waited till after he kicked it.
So the Cats get one more. Missed field goal by Prefontaine. Argos 29-7.
Get in on the game. Who is your MVP? Vote for the Rogers Player of the Game using your Rogers wireless phone. Type the first letter of your player's city and his jersey number, then send to Go CFL. Or vote online at CFL.ca. Either way, you and 3 friends could win an exclusive VIP Grey Cup experience, including backstage access at the Rogers CFL Player Awards. Vote for today's Rogers Player of the Game during TSN's 4th quarter.
Play $1 Million Touchdown to win at Safeway. Get a bonus entry when you buy any participating product, including Heinz beans and pasta. Try a new variety today. Swipe your club card at Safeway today.
Canadian Club. Here's to the good times.
Sure is dark tonight.
These headlights sure are brighter. See further into the night with Nighthawk headlights from GE. GE, imagination at work. Now available at Canadian Tire.
This quarter is brought to you by the Pontiac Wave. Pontiac, built for drivers.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats scored on their last possession, and they need a lot more. Down 29-7 from their 35, and quick whistle movement on the line. '39-year-old Danny McManus.
Okay.
23 yards away now from 50,000 yards passing in his career.
Talk to me.
Four receivers to his right, goes over the middle to Yeast, who is rocked by Kenny Wheaton.
You know what, Troy Davis, here he is. Not only is he good at running the football, watch the blitz pick up as Antonio Bonner comes on the left side on the blitz. Here he comes. Who's ready for him? Troy Davis right there. Good pocket for McManus. Completes the pass. But you know what? Not only a great rusher, but he gets it on all facets of the game.
Hand off to Davis. The Argos did not bite, but there is a flag on the play. Kevin Ivan in the backfield, the leader in tackles in the Canadian Football League, the leader in special teams tackles a year ago.
Well, with 98, he's only a couple away from that magical 100 mark. And
offside, Toronto 95. First down.
Eric England offside, but Ivan only 2 away from the 100 mark. Only 2 Argos have done that previously. Both middle linebackers, Chris Gaines and Calvin Tiggle, played in 4-3 defenses where they were the main man. Of course, Ivan, along with Mike O'Shea, the 2 inside linebackers in this 3-4 setup.
Manis looking over the middle.
Oh.
In double coverage, and Moriali hit this time.
Well, depending on the coverage alignment for Toronto, if it's Steinhauer or Kenny Wheaton in the middle, they're getting some pretty good shots at Hamilton receivers. That time, Steinhauer absolutely unloaded on Moriali and separated him from the football. And well, Danny Mack has always been willing to put the ball up into coverage, and he put it up into pretty tight coverage there.
Already 1 interception tonight, that for a touchdown by Clifford Ivory. 2nd and 10. McManus for Tuchera, another pick. Adrian Smith down the sideline. And the nightmare continues for the Tiger Cats. 29-7 and another pickoff by the Argos secondary.
Hey, let's talk water softening salts. You gotta get the good one. Windsor System Saver Pellets has the real handle, so it's easy to carry. And it has this easy open corner, so it's easy to pour. You gotta get the good one. System Saver Pellets won't bridge or mush up your system. They dissolve evenly and leave no residue. You gotta get the good one. Windsor System Saver Pellets, get the good one.
Yeah. Folks, I know you're as excited as I am about Goodyear's new Assurance Triple Tread tire, but please, this is big news. This tire is truly revolutionary. Now look here. 3 different tread patterns let you drive through icy weather, wet weather, hot weather, weather they don't even have names for yet. No, I said wet. Triple Tread has you covered no matter what. Folks, I can get to your calls, but please, let me finish. So you want to talk to the tire? Oh, okay.
How's the heartburn? It's gone. I took Tums. That was fast.
Interesting thing. When you ingest Tums, it goes directly to the acid in your stomach and actually converts it partially to water. And Tums contains calcium, something your body uses anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, you should have been at the Tums knocks out heartburn fast. That's all you really need to know.
Now there's new Tums Smooth Dissolve. It's so silky smooth, you have to try it to believe it.
Well, trailing by 22 points can sometimes make you do some funny things, and for Danny McManus, he really took a chance and a gamble here, throwing into coverage. Take a look at this. I mean, we're going to freeze it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 Argos. Great coverage right here. And then Adrian Smith gets the easy interception on the overthrow. But you folks at home tell me, how many times are you going to complete those kinds of passes into that tight coverage?
2 picks tonight by the Argos. Draw play to Avery. A good call by Damon Allen.
And what that sprint draw does is give his offensive line really good angles at blocking a very good pass rushing front four. And when you get a good pass rushing front four, you do 2 things against them. You run draws and you run screens, because you know they're going to come upfield hard, and that creates a good angle for your offensive line to get terrific blocks.
Inside 9 minutes before halftime. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot. A lot of scoring by the Argos, and they're threatening again. Avery in the backfield. Damon Allen keeps on 2nd and 1.
And that kind of hit over the top against your quarterback could set off some pretty good fireworks, as it did on Labor Day. It was a hit on Michael Bishop that really started all the fun down in Hamilton, when he, on a quarterback sneak, took a shot, and then about 10 guys got into a pretty good melee.
Well, not only do these teams not like each other very much, they've never liked each other very much.
Well, and it's funny, newcomers that come to either Toronto or Hamilton, they kind of pick up on that scent pretty fast.
And you were part of that Hamilton-Toronto rivalry. You know what this is all about.
Well, we couldn't. I mean, there was only one thing better than beating Toronto and Hamilton when I played there. That was beating Toronto in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know.
There's Archie Amerson, by the way, in the cap behind Danny McManus. You could use Amerson tonight. Archie.
Archie's just having a little rest here.
That might tell you a lot right now.
That cap may go down a little farther over the eyes in a few minutes.
3rd and 1. And a flag on the play.
Okay.
The last time these 2 teams met, you mentioned the rough stuff. 4 players ejected late in the game. 408 yards in penalties in that ball game.
Well, the initial one was R.J. Soward, Talbot, and Wayne Shaw. And then Belly got into it. Well, you know what? Through the powers of replays, we're going to show you what happened on Labor Day. Well, there it starts. And this is how it ends.
Well, 408 yards in the Labor Day Classic already tonight. 116 yards. We may be on our way to 400. Let's hope not. Avery still churning. Sean Avery's looked good so far here. John Avery has looked like Troy Davis so far tonight.
Well, they've really tried to establish the run, and although on the right side they didn't get a great block with June St. John, he was still able to slide underneath it and pick up some positive yardage. But, you know, they have been committed, and it's easy to do that when you get the big lead. But, I mean, they've gone double tights and been very comfortable to try to run the football.
Well, the Argos offense is last in the CFL in first downs, yardage, and points. And again, CFL leading passer Damon Allen says that's not good enough. This one overthrown for Andre Talbot.
Boy, and Aravan Justin, number 19, the corner who was covering him, is telling him right now, you're lucky that ball wasn't on target, because he was really hanging on that, waiting for the pick. He's had 2 in his last 2 games as a starter, now his 3rd start. He was hanging there waiting for that one.
Well, Noel Prefontaine apparently has hurt himself on the last kick. And so the Argos are going to gamble here. 3rd and 4 yards to go.
It's probably funny. Hamilton probably has no idea that Prefontaine is hurt, and they're probably saying, what in the world are they doing?
Allen is dropped. And they will turn the ball over on downs. We'll have to get a report from Claude Fegg on Noel Prefontaine. That could be a big loss right now for the Toronto Argos, who lead 29-7 in Toronto.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Sports Center Newsroom. I'm Darren Detition. We're going to get you back to the football game in just a moment or two. The Ticats and the Argos, great rivalry. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, great rivalry. Last night, they went 7. Tonight, it is 7th heaven again. The NLCS, Houston Astros on the road in St. Louis facing the Cards. First inning, first batter of the game, Craig Biggio. He takes Jeff Suppan deep to left and gone. A solo shot made it 1-0 in favor of the Astros. That is currently the way it remains. On to the Raptors and the Trailblazers at the Air Canada Center early on. Vince Carter nails his first shot from downtown. Lauren Wood starting at center, comes up with a swat, but Theo Ratliff stays with it and jams it home. Raptors staying outside. Vince pops another one. And again, this time it's Jalen Rose with a 3-ball. Raptors led at 22-19 after 1. More footballs coming up in seconds.
We should have seen this coming. We heard you got a Vega.
For unequaled clarity, performance, and design, there's only one television worth watching. Vega by Sony.
Chris Hardy will handle the kicking right now. It's not all good news tonight for the Toronto Argos. Here's Claude.
Well, guys, from what I've been able to ascertain from the Argo training staff, Noel Prefontaine he will be reassessed at the half. From what I've seen is they're working on his right hip. That's obviously his plant foot, and obviously he did some damage there planting, and obviously misfired on the field goal, so we'll see after the half how he's doing, guys.
Yeah, the first time after 16 in a row that he missed. And there's Noel Prefontaine. This could have a very, very big effect on the Toronto Argos heading into the postseason if this is serious at all.
Well, I mean, I'm sure all kickers have a little slide when their plant foot hits the ground, but he looked very awkward on that play. And now it's well documented that he does really, although the turf, everybody else likes it, he's not comfortable. It doesn't like kicking on it. So there you go.
McManus to Yeast. And that'll be about a yard shy. Maybe more, to see where the officials spot it.
Well, if they are, yeah, it's interesting. I was going to say you're going to get a good idea whether Greg Marshall feels this game is within reach or we just go. And obviously, you know, 22 points in this league can be made up in a hurry. We've seen that in the first quarter. So they will punt the football away. But, you know, look at a little deeper at Noel Prefontaine, Rod. I mean, he's the leading punter in the league. He's the leading net punter in the league. And until that disastrous kick, he was 16 of 16 in a row on field goals. Hadn't missed since August. So, I mean, this is major.
The Argos also punt the ball more than any other team in the league. Chris Hardy will handle the punting duties and kicking duties as Arland Bruce bursts outside, spun down finally at his 39-yard line. Wayne Shaw, Rob Hitchcock there. Damon Allen back to work for the Argos.
This winter, don't let the weather get the best of you. Fight back with a new Michelin X-Ice tire. Available now at Canadian Tire.
Damon Allen last week came in as a replacement to Michael Bishop. Nothing against Michael Bishop, but if the Argos are looking for the Grey Cup this year, you'd have to think that number 9 is going to be a big part of it. He's won 3 Grey Cups already in his career.
Well, in that Calgary game, he came in, didn't he, and go 13 for 13 right off the bat?
Something to be said, though. I mean, there are a lot of dynamic young quarterbacks in the league. Maybe that's what they're thinking in BC, too, you know, with Casey Printers, how good, how talented he is. But you look at the quarterbacks who have won the Grey Cups, the big ones, I guess with the exception of Ricky Ray, who was a young quarterback who came in and led his team.
Or Chuck Ely in 72. There's one.
But generally, experience paves the way.
I agree with you.
2nd and 6. Over the middle. Catch me. So the Argos moving the football. Robert Baker, first reception tonight.
Well, and what the Argos did, they go quads to the field, and they really layered this pattern perfectly. What I mean by layered is a short guy right there, Bruce, and then another guy over there, like Baker, and then another guy deep. So they layered through the zones and find the good separation, and that's a darn good pattern by Robert Baker, the touchdown maker.
Love that nickname.
Yeah, it is good.
Avery. Got to bring more nicknames back into the game. I love Ezra Landry's in Montreal.
Itty bitty.
Itty bitty. Gizmo was a great nickname. Perfect for.
Yes, it was.
Henry Williams. Bashar Livingston, I don't know if he really had. They need one for him.
Yeah, and I know you always like being from Winnipeg, Vinnie Mac.
Oh, who reminds me a lot of Ezra Landry, or Ezra Landry reminds me a lot of Mac Heron. And of course, Pinball. What a great nickname that is for that guy.
What a good handle for him.
Play action. Allen. Cheatwood chasing, brings him down for a loss.
You know, he tried. He had Tony Miles on an out and up, but it just took forever. And Greg Marshall, talking early this morning on a radio show in Toronto, said, you know what? The reason why we've had pressure on quarterbacks lately is because our defensive backs have played some solid man-to-man coverage, and it's allowed our guys up front just that little bit extra to either get pressure and sacks. And boy, that was a prime example of that. And a little pressure on Chris Hardy here as he takes over from Noel Prefontaine. His first punt, I'm guessing, is a pro.
So Chris Hardy, who was a punter at the University of Manitoba as well as a quarterback, so he can throw the ball. This might get the butterflies turning.
Beauty.
Hardy launching one to the goal line. Jason Goss to his 15 and his 18-yard line.
You know, Rod, I really question that. It's 29-7, and he took that on about his 2-yard line. I mean, give up the single for field position at this point. I mean, why in the world would you want to start at your own 18 when you could be out to the 35 for 1 point in a 22-point deficit? I don't quite get that.
Well, the big story here tonight, of course, is the winner gets, if it's Toronto, home field advantage in the playoffs. If it's Hamilton, we have to wait another week. But also the subplot, Danny McManus, 9 yards away from 50,000 in his career. McManus to Yeast. Gang tackle there. 4 yards. And the 3-minute warning on the field. Argos ahead by 22 points.
You thought you bought a house, but what you really got was the habitat of H2O, the dwelling of dampness. Take charge. You're a handyman. Fix the roof, change the lighting. Add a splash of color. Make it happen with Rona, the how-to people.
It sure is dark tonight.
These headlights sure are brighter. See further into the night with Nighthawk headlights from GE. GE, imagination at work. Now available at Canadian Tire.
Do you think you know Canadian football? Prove it. FSN presents Wendy's CFL Fantasy Football at FSN.ca. You can pick from 2 games, casual or hardcore, and win a Sony 42-inch brand Vega TV or the Ultimate Dream Workshop from Porter Cable Delta. You can also play against CFL legend Russ Jackson, Mr. Wendy's, or me, Mike Flansburgh. Here are the latest leaders. These guys have made the best picks so far. Wendy's CFL Fantasy Football for those who think they know the score.
Well, Dave Randorf, Chris Schultz, Jock Climbing coming up. Inside 3 minutes. A half dominated, really a quarter dominated by the Toronto Argos, and Danny McManus now 5 yards away from joining the 50,000-yard club in career passing. Could do it, might do it on this play right here. McManus downfield, open. What a way to do it! What a way to do it! Touchdown, Craig East, and a flag on the play. Way back at the 37-yard line. Is that a record breaker? Is that a touchdown, or is that a penalty against Hamilton?
I think it's some sort of roughing call, and it's going to be tough to sort this one out.
We'll let David Ewell do that. Dave Ewell's our referee tonight, it looks like.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Toronto 13. Touchdown stamp.
How about that? Way to go. Way to go, Danny Mac. You got to love this guy, Rod, and boy, he joined some elite company. And just to let you folks know at home that they are going to do a tribute here at the stadium and make a presentation to Danny Mac. The Argos had planned that, and we're going to show you some great clips of his career.
Third quarterback in CFL history, joining Damon Allen and his boss, Ron Lancaster. 50,000-yard club.
Ron Lancaster, of course, the general manager of the Ticats, and he is here. He's down on the sidelines, and I'm sure he'll be part of this presentation.
Boy, and that is a big touchdown in this game. Maybe getting some momentum back. Let's take a look now as McManus reaches the 50,000-yard passing mark in style.
Well, he really does. Good protection up front, and an enormous coverage breakdown by the Argos. And you know, that's the worst fears of Rich Stubler, their defensive coordinator, to be up by 22 and give a team an easy one to get back into this game. So not only does Danny Mac go over 50,000, he does it in style, and he does it a crucial way to bring his team back into this football game.
And a classy move by the Argos. There's Commissioner Tom Wright. There's Damon Allen, says welcome to the club, Danny Mac. Well, there's Ron Lancaster. They're the three of them right there.
That's pretty special.
That is.
As they present Danny McManus with the game ball to honor this legendary night of CFL football.
And I think it's pretty classy on the part of the Toronto Argonauts to have planned to stop this game and honor a man who's had a wonderful 15-year career and do this on Toronto home turf.
Played in Florida State, of course, a Seminole. Came to Canada. And now, 15 years later, 50,000-yard member and joining the all-time pro football leaders, Warren Moon. Damon Allen, another couple of seasons, could be all-time #1, but there's some select company.
Of course, Warren Moon's numbers include both CFL and NFL, and you know, you said Florida State, that's where he began his college career, but Rod, it took him a while to be a starter in this league. He backed up Tom Burgess in Winnipeg, he backed up Kent Austin in BC, and then once he got his chance, I mean, there was no looking back.
You know a guy who was happy for him tonight? A guy named Darren Flutie.
Oh, there's no question that Darren Flutie on the receiving end of so many key McManus passes, Grey Cup victory together. There'll be a lot of guys that say, boy, I was a part of Danny's success, and a lot of fun to watch him do it.
So a penalty on the kickoff. Arland Bruce stutter stepping and getting it up to the 30-yard line. Craig East has 2 touchdowns tonight. Are the Cats back in it? They trail 29-14.
Now this is nice. Not a thing to think about. Except maybe soundproofing. And plumbing. What the heck? Why not renovate the whole bathroom? You're a handy woman. You have vision. Make it happen with Rona, the how-to people.
A guy in the 60,000-yard club, Damon Allen. Quick fire and strike to Tony Miles. Damon Allen. 4-yard pickup. Damon Allen and Danny McManus. You combine them, you got a guy named Damon McManus. 80 years old, 35 seasons.
Look at that picture. That's pretty good.
10 teams. A lot of yards passing.
Look at that picture.
Look at the Grey Cup rings.
That's pretty good.
And look at the touchdown passes. And you know, if you combine that would be like taking a trip to Hamilton and back. All of the passes thrown, yards thrown between Allen, a former Ticat, and almost it is. No, it isn't. It went through 3 sets of hands.
Bernard Cox had the initial look at the interception, and you know, all of a sudden Hamilton back into this game. A bit of a sense of urgency for Toronto to try to get momentum back, take control once again, and a ball that Damon Allen clearly shouldn't have thrown, and Bernard Cox, who's back into the lineup after missing 3 games with an injury, should have really had the interception. Now once again, Prefontaine out. Chris Hardy has to come in and be the punter. He got a great one off his first time.
Jason Goss is back again. Will they put some pressure on Hardy here?
Boy, I sure would.
Low snap, bobbled it. Has to get it away and does. But what a kick. Goss reversing field. And I'll tell you what, Chris Hardy, a 41-yard punt and a 2-yard return.
And Ray Marwies made the tackle, the leader in special teams. All the guys congratulating Hardy. I mean, he was pretty calm under pressure here. That's a ball that should be handled. It's low, but I mean, that's catchable. And all of a sudden, he regroups and gets off a boomer, but it's... all right, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. A little bit low, but a terrific recovery.
You did some kicking yourself.
Oh, that's a punter.
As a receiver/punter, McManus adding to his career totals. Moriali, the former Argo, knocked on his can on the sidelines.
I was 3rd in the nation in the U.S. as a sophomore. 41.8. Not bad in U.S. college because you do a lot of kicking to the sidelines. My back sore from patting it.
Yeah, I was going to say. Lord, it's hard to be humble.
Oh dear. Well, when you get older, you know, you gotta do this every once in a while.
Greg East over 1,000 yards.
He joins DJ Flick as the 2,000-yard receivers in that Hamilton lineup.
One thing the Cats have not been able to do here tonight, and they did with such effectiveness, is run the football on the shoulders and legs of Troy Davis. The Argos have a game plan tonight. We talked to Pinball Clemens before the game about any kind of attack, defensive attack they might have for Troy Davis.
Well, and what he said was he expected Hamilton to come out in double tight ends, and they had this whole grandiose defensive scheme to go up against it. But yet Hamilton hasn't shown the double tight ends tonight, probably because they were down 21-0 before you could blink your eyes. So give Hamilton credit, you know, they've had some good drives, a big touchdown to Yeast, and all of a sudden 15 points isn't a whole lot.
Completely different ball game, and with a minute to go before halftime, if they can get some more points here.
Give credit to James Parisi for being patient.
Julian Radlin looked like he might have been stopped on the 3rd down gamble, and they will move the yardsticks again. So Danny McManus, after giving up 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, and the Tiger Cats looking shell-shocked early, has brought his club back into this one.
And he's going to go hurry up now with 1:07 to go, and sure love the call, and what a great veteran to be able to run the hurry up offense.
11 of 16, and Danny Mack is tonight. Dump pass, Troy Davis on a good call from McManus.
Good call, because you said to me at commercial timeout, Leaf, why don't they throw the dump to Troy Davis? And I said, you know what, I think you're right, they should. And that picks up positive yardage and puts them inside Toronto territory.
So 2nd and 4 now. McManus in the shotgun again. 50 seconds to go. Well, there was a dump pass again to Davis out of the backfield. And no go this time.
And he was going to have a tough time picking up the first down. I mean, one thing about Toronto, they will give up some yardage, but it's a good tackling defense.
So Greg Marshall, last year at this time, he was getting his McMaster Marauders ready for the playoffs in Canadian college football.
And you know, one of the great adjustments, Rod, that he's had to make, and he's talked about this, is, you know, they play only about 8 games in college football. Now he's in his 17th. That's twice the length of the season. And, you know, mentally as a coach, he has to, you know, that's a real transition for him as well.
Jamie Bourne, you know, he's looking sideline here, but he doesn't. Bashar Livingston will let it roll down to the 7. Fumbled, but it doesn't matter. It looks like it's a no yards call.
You know what? A lot of teams may say that taking a no yards penalty against Bashar Livingston or Arlen Bruce is not a bad play.
Well, based on what we've seen so far tonight.
Not a bad play at all.
Again, if you're just joining us, Bashar Livingston electrified the crowd here, taking the opening kickoff back for a touchdown.
Hamilton 89, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So 30 seconds to go before halftime. 28 points scored by the Argos in the first quarter. Only 1 point in the second, but look at the offense, 220 to 143.
If you're just tuning in and you're looking at those numbers and saying, well, how in the world are they ahead 29-14? They did it with a missed field goal return for a touchdown, and a Bashar Livingston kickoff return for a touchdown.
Allen handing to Avery. Flag. Montford brings down Avery.
28 seconds to go. Hamilton has a timeout. They'd ideally like to let Toronto run one more play, call the timeout to stop the clock, and then maybe have an opportunity at something.
Here's the call.
Holding, Toronto 56. Penalties decline, 2nd down.
So, I mean, Toronto will run the clock down, and, you know, when they snap it, hopefully they hope it's about 8 seconds to go. But if they run a quick play, Hamilton call timeout, and then you really have a chance to maybe go. You force Toronto to punt for sure.
Center Chad Folk with the holding call. Damon Allen still throwing, at least in the shotgun. Hands off instead to Avery.
Now timeout fast, right here.
And they give it a timeout, 5 seconds to go.
Okay, that's good coaching, because now you got Chris Hardy coming in, and he just had trouble handling a snap. And now, I mean, if you've got a kick block in your scheme, this is where you go full blast to try to block it. So that's good coaching. Hamilton did everything right that they wanted to manage the clock and get an opportunity. Special teams coach Jerome Erdman, pretty good Canadian defensive back in his day.
Well, I'm sure if he had any hair on his head would have pulled it out earlier in this ball game. Trying to stop Bashar Livingston. Right now, though, thanks to 2 touchdowns by Craig Yeast, equalizing the 2 by Bashar Livingston, Tiger Cats down by 15. And now Hardy is back at his 5. Mike O'Shea gives him some instructions, talks to him there. Could be the final play before halftime. Hardy gets it away.
And now the returner could kick it into the end zone as well. Oh, he was thinking about it. Did you see that ball come up? You know, the kicker can kick it back, and, you know, it almost looked like Jason Goss was thinking about it for just a split second.
So the Argos have lost Noel Prefontaine for an undetermined amount of time. They lead the ball game 29-14 at the half.
You know, under the current playoff format, it has been in place in the Canadian Football League since 1973. How important is a home playoff date? Well, since 73, no Eastern team has ever gone to the Grey Cup, let alone win it, without hosting a playoff game. So that's what's on the line for the Argos tonight. If they can finish the job, They let Hamilton creep back in a little bit there, Schultz, and they've got big play capability, but they got to make sure they're careful in their rally.
Well, Jock Limey talked about it earlier that the turnovers could dictate this game. Danny McManus has to be careful that he doesn't continue to throw interceptions, and his judgment as to when a receiver is open and when a receiver is not open has to be more accurate. You have a defensive back trailing, a linebacker closing. That isn't necessarily open. And on this situation, the actual interception, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 Argonauts around the football. If Danny McManus comes out and throws a couple more interceptions, Hamilton's not going to win this game. But if he makes really good judgment as to when a receiver is open, willing to throw the football away rather than chance interception, Hamilton still has a chance, Jock.
Yeah, and they still have a chance in this football
Yes,
game. And that's, I want to talk a little bit about a little sports psychology and about what goes into all of that. And you know what we just saw in the Red Sox and Yankee series. You know, I don't normally bring other sports into it, but it really is about sports psychology when you're down and you're the underdog. And the approach that the Hamilton Tiger Cats want to take when it's 28-0 in the first quarter is, okay, guys, we got them right where we want them. This is the time where Toronto's going to think, well, this game's over. And you can start plugging away. If you don't make mistakes and you keep working hard, you can get back into the football game. And just like the Red Sox got back into the series, they said, hey, got the Yankees right where we want them. We're down 3-0. We can now come back. And I think that the Hamilton Ticats, the way they're playing right now, this game is far from over.
You know, there is a lot to that because it's all about urgency. It's all about playing at the highest emotional level. And sometimes the worst thing that can happen to a team is an early lead. This game is not over.
Well, there's been a couple of moments that could have gone either way, and I think right after the opening kickoff return, there was a fumble by Avery.
That's correct.
Looked very close that it could have been ruled a fumble. It was 7-0 at the time.
Yes. Yep.
Who knows what kind of effect that would have had on the game. Certainly wouldn't have seen 3 consecutive touchdowns by Toronto, I don't think. But regardless, that's where we sit. We asked you in the pregame show, which team do you think has the best chance of knocking off the Alouettes in the East Final? We know Montreal's going to play at Olympic Stadium, and this one's not close. Everybody figures Toronto has the best shot. They've been to the East Final the last 2 years. They'd like to get back there again.
At the Half, brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Wendy's, it's better here.
Wendy's Friday Night Football tomorrow night. We're on the air at 9:30 Eastern Time with a pregame show leading up to the Stampeders and the Lions. Team 1040 in Vancouver is reporting that Dave Dickinson will start ahead of Casey Printers, and that's an interesting decision for lots of reasons, but one of them being that the Stamps have given Printers a lot of trouble this season.
Well, they really have. I mean, I still stick to my conviction that it's better to have Dave Dickinson coming off the bench than Casey Printers. I'd still go with Printers, but that's just my opinion. I think the key in this game, Joffrey Reynolds, 189 yards against Toronto. Can he duplicate that? And can Calgary have a no-turnover game? But I don't know. Dickinson, Printers, I'll give you this. Dickinson looked magnificent.
I'm glad you said it was just your opinion, Schultz. I was going to take issue with your opinion. I mean, Dave Dickinson, how could you go wrong with Dave Dickinson? And what he did last week was amazing.
Yes, it was.
And for a game that actually has no playoff implications, it's still very intriguing, I think. I mean, we got Kahari Jones, and see if the Calgary Stampeders can't take a little momentum into their next season. And then Calgary, they don't want to go into the playoffs on a slump. They got that Dickinson Printers thing. Lots of interesting things going to happen. BC, sorry. Lots of interesting things going to happen.
Yeah,
there.
BC is locked up first place. They will host the Western Final for the first time since 1999, was it, or 98? One of those two. 99. Hey, before he went into the dressing room of the half, Chris Hardy practicing a field goal, so it looks as though he had an interesting time punting the football. Looks like he's going to handle the kicking duties.
Wendy's has a simply delicious way for chicken lovers to enjoy chicken. Our home-style chicken strips, big tender pieces of juicy whole season breast filet with your choice of 3 delicious sauces. Wendy's, it's better here. And our pickup window is open late.
Hey, let's talk water softening salts. You gotta get the good one. Windsor System Saver Pellets has the real handle, so it's easy to carry. And it has this easy open corner, so it's easy to pour. You gotta get the good one. System Saver Pellets won't bridge or mush up your system. They dissolve evenly and leave no residue. You gotta get the good one. Windsor System Saver Pellets, get the good one.
Crown Royal, proud sponsor of the CFL. Visit our website.
Here we go. Move it here, move it there. Let's go. Move it here, move it there. Let's go. Move it here, move it there. What? Here, there,
The all-new 2005 Hyundai Tucson with Canada's best warranty. Perfect for whatever, whenever.
Growing up, Sonny was always so happy. But then he changed. He started hanging around with the wrong crowd. Then, one day, I heard him talking to his friends about
mushrooms. Talk to your parents about Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, and Mario Pinball Land. Rated E for everyone.
When we were kids, we didn't even know what Nintendo was. Sorry.
This day in the CFL, brought to you by Sport Check, proud supporter of the CFL.
October 21st, 1990, Bob Obinovich and Doug Flutie taking on the Edmonton Eskimos. First half, Flutie goes deep to Jay Christensen, who makes a catch and goes the distance. Lions led early. 19-5 BC now. Flutie goes downfield once again, and this time he hooks up with Tony Dennis. 46 yards for the Major, 26-5 BC. Edmonton's offense struggled on this day. Steve Taylor is picked off by Doug Tank Landry. Flutie and the Lions win big, 30-8. Meantime, here are the halftime numbers in tonight's ball game, brought to you by Molson Canadian. I am Canadian, Schultz.
Dave, if you didn't look at the score and you just look at the net yards for the Ticats, you would say, man, they must be winning this game, but those singular big plays are killing them. Time for the Ticats to make some game-changing single plays. They can get back in this game.
Here is Claude Fig.
With Argos head coach Pinball Clemens Pinner, the Tiger Cats getting a little bit of momentum late in that second half, but you got to be really happy with the way this game started. Special teams, defense, offense, everybody contributing.
And we stressed those things this week. We said that we needed to have a touchdown on special teams this week. We were fortunate enough to get 2 in the first half. Now we just have to keep playing. We've got an injury to Noel Prefontaine, and so that affects us quite a bit in the kicking game. And so we have to come out. Great defense is there, and controlling the football is the key to winning this football game from here.
Going back to Damon Allen as a starter, but only 4 of 6 passing in the first half. Was that by design, or is this just what the Ticat defense is giving you?
Well, part of that is because we've had touchdowns in the return game. We've got field position in the return game. We also got an interception for a touchdown. So in doing those things, it keeps our offense off of the field by no point of theirs. The other thing is we had some success running the football early, and I think that's made a big difference. And so we want to stay with that. We want to continue to run the football in the second half.
All right, Peter. Good luck in the second half.
All right. Thank you very much,
guys.
And in case you missed it, Danny McManus joining Ron Lancaster and Damon Allen as the only guys in CFL history to pass for 50,000 yards.
Now this is nice. Not a thing to think about. Except maybe soundproofing. And plumbing. What the heck? Why not renovate the whole bathroom? You're a handy woman. You have vision. Make it happen with Rona, the how-to people.
The Coors Light Brewing Company salutes the buddy.
I have told a ridiculous lie to back up a friend's ridiculous lie.
I have slept outside.
Because a friend put a sock on the doorknob.
I have never hooked up with a friend's sister.
More than once.
I have been a friend.
By being with my friends. Girlfriends.
Friend.
The Coors Light Brewing Company is proud of all the brothers from different mothers and the easy drink taste of the ice-cold Silver Bullet.
When you deliver for more businesses in Canada than any other courier, you get very good at it. Purelator, where business is going.
I've been a hog farmer all my life, and I ain't never seen anything like these Fram air hogs. Yeah! Crazy critters scaring the chickens. And the missus, too, to be honest. Mind you, folks can't wait to get their hands on them.
The Fram Air Hog High Performance Air Filter, designed to allow more airflow for increased acceleration and horsepower. They breathe in, you peel out. Fram Air Hog, hog the road.
Hello?
Lindsay, it's Mike. We got the job.
Oh, that's great.
But the client wants to move the meeting up to Wednesday.
Get the team together, you pick up the reports and leave the rest to me.
Coffee Center.
Hi, it's Lindsay Wright. I need all those reports printed by Wednesday now.
Sure, we can do that.
Thanks, you're a lifesaver.
We're here for you, wherever you are.
Introducing the redesigned 2005 Mazda Tribute. Funny what an SUV is willing to do for a little...
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Danny McManus warming up. You know what? The Hamilton Tiger Cats are still in this game when it looked like they might be blown out in the first quarter. 29-14, the latest member of the 50,000-yard club in the Canadian Football League and in pro football. And a subplot now is, of course, injury to Noel Prefontaine, who apparently has some sort of hip pointer or hip flexor injury on this field goal attempt.
Well, I mean, you know, the word we get is hip pointer, but that looks more like hip flexor there, unless he's very aggressive on covering kicks downfield, and he covered a bunch of kickoffs here in the first half, and he could have maybe had a hip pointer. In comes number 8, Chris Hardy, and this is what he did at halftime while the rest of his teammates were back in the locker room. Chris stayed out for the entire half. He did some punts, he did some field goals, and I mean, he's got a pretty strong leg. I'm not crazy about the punting technique, and that 0 for 1 was back in 2001, a 29-yarder that he missed in Edmonton. But a lot of pressure on him. Noel Prefontaine, we talked about the #1 punter, the #1 net punter, had been on a 16-for-16 streak until he missed that first half field goal. So Chris Hardy with some absolutely enormous shoes to fill in this second half.
So the teams will change hands. They actually lined up on the wrong side. So Hardy will kick off to the Ticats. And wouldn't this be something if the Ticats stormed back early here, and if they get within a touchdown, this is a completely different ball game. Hardy with the kick. Dondre Gilliam with the ball. Gilliam up to midfield. Dondre Gilliam. And a return of 27 yards. Here are the two legends tonight, McManus and Allen. Damon Allen only 4 of 6. McManus 12 of 18. The 2 interceptions and the 2 touchdowns.
It's funny, you know, I ran into Ron Lancaster when I was grabbing a coffee at halftime, Blackie, and Ronnie, of course, part of the presentation on the field. I said, well, what did you say? What great things did you say to Danny? He said, I told him to keep on throwing in the second half.
Well, one quarterback to another. The little general, Ron Lancaster.
And the little general Lancaster, like Danny McManus, was never too worried about interceptions, and his philosophy pretty much the same as Danny's was. If he threw 5 interceptions in a game but threw 1 critical important touchdown to win, that was all that mattered. And those were the first half possessions. Hamilton got on track late, and offensive coordinator James Parisi, to his credit, has stuck with a game plan even though he was down huge early.
2nd and 8. McManus hanging in over the middle for DJ Flick. And a first down. McManus continues to pile up the yardage here tonight.
Well, here's DJ Flick, top guy. Watch how he gets down, and just the hole in the zone opens up right over there. And McManus with terrific time. That's what sets it all up. Here comes the hole, right inside Fletcher, right between Fletcher and Iben. McManus puts it in the hole. DJ Flick goes and gets it.
DJ Flick, member of the 1,000-yard receiving club. And Troy Davis with one of his biggest carries tonight. And they are going to try to establish Troy Davis, I'm sure, a little more in this second half.
Yeah, one of the keys and the beauties for Hamilton is they do it with 6 blockers because they have Julian Radlin, the fullback. Most teams have to do it with their offensive line to create openings, but Troy Davis has the comfort of big Julian Radlin in front of him, and that time Radlin sealed off. Troy Davis bounces to the outside and quickly back-to-back first downs for the Ticats.
McManus with the 2 touchdowns to Craig Yeast. Will he go to Yeast again? Out of the backfield, Davis dodges 1 tackle and has about 7.
Well, a good move by Davis to get by Michael Fletcher. Fletcher, number 2, a terrific tackler for the Argonauts. But when you get in the open field, you have to make people miss. He makes Fletcher miss, and he picks up on an extra 4. And again, the key for Ticats right now is they're getting good, solid first down production. Second and about 3.5 here. Boy, do you not feel like after that enormous start by Toronto that old Mo is kind of just slowly crept back towards Hamilton?
Yeah. Mo right now, however, is stopped. Troy Davis meets Michael O'Shea, the former Cat. A guy who really has had to live kind of halfway between Hamilton and Toronto during his career.
Yeah, and with,
the Cats
and with Cantor right on the center, that protects O'Shea so he can make the play. This is designed, you sell yourself out as a defensive lineman knowing that your 2 inside linebackers, Ivan and O'Shea, are going to make some plays. And that time, the way the defensive line slanted with Noah Cantor right on the center, there's nobody that can get out and block the linebacker, and O'Shea's right there to make the nifty tackle.
Well, an hour and a half ago, the Cats would have gone on 3rd and 3. They were down 28 points. Right now, they're trying to get some more points to get even closer. Jamie Borum, straight on kicker, straight through the uprights. And now it's 29-17 Argos in the 3rd quarter.
Play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. You could win a fabulous all-inclusive trip for 2 to Mexico from iTravel 2000 to exciting destinations like Puerto Vallarta, Manzanillo, Ixtapa, or Acapulco. Swipe your club card at Safeway today.
The house back to the lake. And I could afford it. I couldn't.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Scotty. How's dinner with Sarah?
Oh, it's good, good. I'm gonna head over to Jimmy's, and Sarah's gonna head home.
Okay. Just don't be too late.
Cool. See ya.
That's Scotty. Everything all right?
Remember our first date?
Share more minutes, share more moments with Family Plan. Only from Rogers Wireless.
Now, Van Helsing.
Your reputation precedes you.
Really? With groundbreaking bonus features that take the Van Helsing experience beyond the theater. Own Van Helsing now.
The wait is over. It's Kia's Drive More Clear Out, our biggest sales event of the year, with unbeatable deals like 0% purchase financing for 72 months or up to $2,000 cash back, or choose great low lease rates. All backed by Canada's best ownership coverage, including free oil changes for life. These deals won't last, so hurry into your local Kia dealer today.
This quarter is brought to you by Esquire. This is your time.
The Argos lead now 29-17 in the 3rd quarter. Jamie Borum will kick off. And Bashar Livingston back with Arlan Bruce, and they now talk with each other. And
say, who wants it more?
Yeah, well, maybe even thinking about maybe a reverse here. Who knows? 2 dynamite returners. Bruce. And brought out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
And a lot better effort on that kick cover team. And those were the first half possessions for David Allen, a touchdown that he scored himself on a 1-yard quarterback sneak.
The Ticats surrendering points in very different ways here tonight. Kickoff return, missed field goal, an interception. But still hanging in and trailing only by 12 points. John Avery's carried the ball a lot tonight. A lot of the mail for the Argos, much more than last week in the loss against the Calgary Stampeders, and has looked good doing it. And that may bode well for the Argos should they win this game and host the Eastern semifinal. If they lose the game, then a lot would be on next week. The Argos will host the Montreal Alouettes. The Tiger Cats have another game with the Ottawa Renegades.
Funny, the shuffling and adjustments at halftime. Hamilton first down defense, put a real run defense in. Now they bring in their pass defense.
Allen over the middle, and it almost was picked by Wayne Shaw, the former Argo.
That should have been the second pick. Earlier they had a wonderful opportunity with Renard Cox, should have had an interception, and now Wayne Shaw, really the middle safety that's taken over from Rob Hitchcock this year, he should have had an opportunity. There he is, just to the left middle of your screen, and he's just reading the quarterback's eyes, and when that ball is thrown too far in front of Talbot, Wayne Shaw had a terrific chance for yet another turnover for this Hamilton defense.
So Chris Hardy, 2 punts, first of his career, shown a pretty strong leg so far tonight.
One of the things with Hardy that I watched at halftime was he just really doesn't extend the ball when he punts out in front of himself, and he kicks it high, but not terrifically deep.
Goss with the ball is swallowed up, or is he? Antonius Bonner had him, lost him, didn't matter. Goss lost yardage. 8 yards, as a matter of fact. His team trails by 12.
Come! Dad, what should we do?
I will come for you. Do you understand me?
Oh my God! Hold on!
The day after tomorrow. Own the DVD today.
No, we'll be fine.
First and 10, Hamilton. Tiger Cats creeping back in this game. McManus hangs in, and the ball is fumbled, but recovered, it looks like, by the Tiger Cats. DJ Flick was there to recover the football after it was fumbled by Troy Davis. The officials are talking about it. Is it a complete pass?
Well, you make the judge. Troy Davis in the slot makes the catch initially.
Didn't look like he had full control.
I mean, it's tough. We're looking in slow motion, and you know, they give him the catch and fumble recovery, I guess.
12-yard gain for the Tiger Cats. Again, came into tonight after 3 straight wins, including a win in overtime last week against Ottawa to clinch a playoff spot. Davis battles, but really gets nothing. Couple of yards at best. And a flag on the play, some chirping and rough stuff after the whistle.
Well, Wayne Smith, the right guard, was way downfield getting into it with Adrian Smith. Interesting, the chess match here. Hamilton now has gone double tight ends. Toronto counters. They bring in Marvin Thomas, number 98, an extra defensive tackle. They go to a 4-man front, which they don't like to play.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 80. It was after the play, 2nd down.
Yeah, those are garbage penalties. That's Ibrahim Tunkara, downfield, number 80, wide receiver or slot back. You know, give me a break. That stuff, when you're trying to claw your way back into a game, that's just killer kind of penalties. Boy, if I'm a coach, I take him by the scruff of the neck, because that's just unforgivable stuff.
Again, this is now the most penalized team in the Canadian Football League, even more so than the Montreal Alouettes.
First and 20 is tough against a strong Toronto defense.
McManus airs it out. Catch made by DJ Flick down the sidelines. And how about Danny Mack? Jordan Younger victimized by DJ Flick.
A lot of good offseason acquisitions by the Ticats, but probably none bigger than DJ Flick at the top. He beats Jordan Younger. He gets caught flat-footed. He's looking into the backfield as a corner. That's the kiss of death DJ Flick with legitimate 4-2 speed down the sidelines. Nothing fancy. The only thing fancy was the throw by Danny Mack, and all of a sudden, the Ticats on 1st and 20 convert quite easily, and James Parisi looks like a miracle worker, the offensive coordinator, in his play selection.
Davis on the delayed draw, but nowhere to go again. So now a passing down upcoming for McManus and the Tiger Cats, back in the red zone again.
Well, there's Parisi again, first-year offensive coordinator, 47 years old. Local guy, born in Dundas, Ontario, so he knows the Hamilton area quite well. He coached at quarterbacks at the University of Central Florida. A very, very good offensive mind, and I'm glad Greg Marshall gave him a shot.
We are going to go to break with an injury on the field to Tim Baker, but don't go anywhere. Cats clawing right back.
Wendy's CFL Fantasy Football. Register free all season long at fsn.ca. Pick from 2 CFL fantasy football games, casual or hardcore. With great weekly and monthly prizes, there's more than just bragging rights on the line. You could win a Sony 42-inch Grand Vega TV or the ultimate dream workshop from Porter Cable. Think you know Canadian football? Prove it. Get to CFL.ca or FSN.ca for Wendy's CFL Fantasy Football and sign up now.
Tim Cheatwood and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. That is a ferocious front line. They are now the Perlator sack leaders in the Canadian Football League. For every sack in a game, Perlator contributes the quarterback's weight in food to a local food bank. Perlator, Canada's biggest courier company. 43 sacks and counting. Should point out that the Toronto Argos have not recorded a sack tonight, and that is not surprising because the Cats offensive line and McManus don't give up many sacks. 2nd and 9. McManus. Penalty flag down. Dondre Gilliam. But that might be a holding call in the backfield.
Gilliam picked up the first down, so if it is, Toronto, without question, has to take the penalty.
Holding, Hamilton 69. 2nd down repeated.
John Woodard, the left tackle, all 6'5", 325 pounds of him. And I mean, this has been a well-executed drive by Hamilton, only for the penalties. Tunkara with the unnecessary roughness penalty, and now on a 2nd and long conversion, Woodard with the holding penalty and brings it back. And all of a sudden now Danny Mack again 2nd and 20, and we'll see. The last time they came up with the long pass to DJ Flick, we'll see what he has in his bag of tricks here.
2nd and 19. McManus stands in, looks to the end zone. Is it picked? It is. A tip drill, and Clifford Ivory with his 2nd interception of the night. So the Argos snuff out a Hamilton drive thanks to Cliff Ivory.
Okay, you guys, get ready to deliver. Every time a CFL quarterback gets sacked, he will take his weight in food to the home team's food bank. And TSN will keep track with the Purelator Tackle Hunger Sack Tally. So get out there and deliver. Purelator Tackle Hunger.
Will my car be ready this afternoon like you promised?
Yes.
Do you guarantee all your work, even general maintenance?
Yes.
Winter can be rough on your car, so protect it now with our winter maintenance package. Get an oil change, battery and antifreeze tests, tire rotation, and more for just $39.
Trust the Midas touch.
You thought you bought a house, but what you really got was the habitat of H2O, the dwelling of dampness. Take charge. You're a handyman. Fix the roof, change the lighting. Add a splash of color. Make it happen with Rona, the how-to people.
The Coors Light Brewing Company salutes the buddy.
I have told a ridiculous lie to back up a friend's ridiculous lie.
I have slept outside.
Because a friend put a sock on the doorknob.
I have never hooked up with a friend's sister.
More than once. I have been a friend. By being with my friends, girlfriends,
friend.
The Coors Light Brewing Company is proud of all the brothers from different mothers and the easy drinking taste of the ice-cold silver bullet.
Well, Spider-Man does take off his mask. Look at that. Hello, Peter Parker. Well, tomorrow night, hockey. Oh, he's putting it on. There it is. Canada and the Soviet Union. The Canada Cup. It's the only hockey we're seeing right now. The Canada Cup Classic tomorrow on TSN. So an interception by Clifford Ivory snuffs out a Tiger Cat threat. 7:20 to go, third quarter. Allen connects with Tony Miles.
Let's go back to the interception of Clifford Ivory, his second of the game, and really not a bad time to do this by Danny Mack. I mean, he's 2nd and 20. A field goal attempt would have come from 48 yards, so why not take a shot at the end zone? You never know what may happen. He did throw into double coverage, but, you know, this is one of these situations where I think you say, that's not a bad play. They gave up the pick. It comes out to the 25-yard line. I'm not sure Borum has the range.
Clifford Ivory showing great hands there. Seen it earlier tonight. Pickoff for a touchdown and a pickoff in the end zone this time. He has done it many, many times to many, many quarterbacks. Danny Mack and the Ticats needing a win to keep their hopes for home field advantage alive. 2 weeks to another meeting. It would be round 4 of the season between the Argos and Cats. 1st and 10. Allen pitches to Avery, going right side, comes back left side, and gets a huge block. But then he is wrestled down to the ground by Jason Goss.
Why, the Ticats absolutely stuffed this at the point of attack. One of the few times tonight that they've used Jeff Johnson, the fullback, as a lead blocker, and he absolutely got crunched by the Ticats on the outside, forcing Avery back. I mean, here's Johnson going to the right. Watch this on Donovan Carter. He just gets taken to the turf, and pretty good reaction by Goss.
So 2nd and 9 now. Allen in the shotgun. Montford the rush. Damon Allen got some pressure there. We talked about those ferocious linemen that the Cats have. Tim Cheatwood and Joe Montford. Johnny Scott all up there.
Yeah, they did it with only a 3-man rush, dropping 9 rods. So when you get pressure like that from your front 3 and you can force a tip, you've done a heck of a job on defense.
Another guy who's done a heck of a job so far here tonight, see if he keeps it going, is Chris Hardy, replacing Noel Prefontaine. Goss is back to return this kick.
Well, he's been rather athletic back there, and he's had to be because he's had some wild snaps.
Look out!
Oh,
my. He just got that away. So Goss knocks it out of bounds and gets knocked out of bounds at the same time at the 45. And look at this adventurous ride for Chris Hardy.
Well, I think if you're Hardy, you kind of expect this. And he's so athletic, he jumped over Goss and didn't get a roughing the kicker penalty. But I think if you're Hardy, you come in this kind of situation, you have to expect that the other team is going to try to come after you. I've been impressed with him. I mean, he's had some good punts tonight. He's been cool under pressure.
He was a pretty good quarterback in his time, too, and kicker at the University of Manitoba, the Bisons. Then drafted by the Edmonton Eskimos a few years there. Like so many Canadian college quarterbacks, plays a different position when he gets to the Canadian Football League. Julian Radlin close to a first down as he gets a touch here.
You know, I think this is a great call against the defense that really most of the time rushes 3 and 4. But, you know, they rush 5 a little bit, but when they're only rushing 3 and 4 and dropping 8 and 9 guys, you really have to take advantage of your backs and dump it off them. I know you, Rod, felt they should do that more in the first half, but they are doing that here in the third quarter, and they're getting some really good positive yardage with that. And Julian Redlin averages almost 10 yards of reception, so he's pretty fleet of foot when he gets it in the open field.
Here's Davis. The Argos Continuing to do a good job on number 32. Just 44 yards for Troy Davis tonight. That is a far cry from the 233 he had a month ago.
Well, you know, everybody thinks that a 3-4 defense, you should be able to run against it quite easily and hit what they call the bubbles, the two inside linebackers. But Toronto is very physical with Ivan and O'Shea and Fletcher up there, and they're as good as anybody at coming up to take on the run.
Passing down, looking for, and almost found DJ Flick. Good job by the Argos secondary.
Well, Danny Mac not afraid, as we've talked tonight, about throwing it into a crowd, and once again he did that, trying to get DJ Flick.
Again, the Ticats a touchdown away from making this a very, very close game.
Rich Stubler, the defensive coordinator of the Argonauts, who always has a few tricks up his sleeve. Kind of ironic now with Jamie Borum and Chris Hardy both kicking rod, that both from the University of Manitoba. Borum was a safety there.
Goes to show you. Friendly Manitoba full of good kickers. Bashar Livingston won't take the knee, and this time Damon Allen and the Argos will operate from the shadows of their goalpost. 29-17.
I knew I heard something cool. What you got there?
My new Mastercraft air compressor from Canadian Tire.
Can it do anything else?
Yeah, let me show you. With this 2-in-1 air tool, I can use staples or load it with brad name. Either way, it gets the job done quickly. With the ratchet, even the toughest jobs are easy. Ooh. And with a quick adjustment to the pressure, using the spray gun is simple. Oh. The Mastercraft 5-gallon air compressor with accessory kit and bonus Mastercraft 1 1/4 nailer, just $199.99.
Show him the impact gun.
Things just seem to get a little easier when you start at Canadian Tire.
Crown Royal, proud sponsor of the CFL. Visit our website.
Reebok, the only brand that hangs in every CFL locker.
Stamps Lions, Wendy's Friday Night Football, tomorrow on TSN.
Well, Bashar Livingston will get another chance here. The Argos will see another kick here from Jamie Borum, a holding call on 3rd down. And Bashar Livingston has to get serious consideration for player of the game.
Wow.
Our Rogers player of the game. You can dial in on the internet or on your cell phone. Danny McManus, you never know what could happen. You can vote in the 4th quarter.
That's the sentimental vote right now.
Yeah. Clifford Ivory, John Avery, Ivory.
There's a lot.
Rogers player of the game brought to you by Rogers, your world right now. This game far from over, inside 3 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
But think of what Hamilton gave up with that holding penalty. Borum was such a great kick to pin Livingston deep.
Well, he might pin him deep again. And they do.
Oh, my.
Great kick by Borum.
Certainly, Jerome Erdman, who's the special team coach in Hamilton, had a serious chat with his teams at halftime because they've had a renewed enthusiasm for covering kicks here in the 3rd quarter.
No kidding.
That's what I said to Ron Lancaster at halftime. I said, what do you think, Ronnie? Are they nicely positioned? He said, we'd be better positioned if we knew how to cover kicks.
Well, they did that time. And the Argos are pinned back to their 6-yard line. With 2:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. One of the biggest crowds in quite some time here at Skydome tonight. Great crowd. 30,369. Allen out of the backfield. And a good call there to Tony Miles. And we'll get about 6 yards on the play. You talk about football revival down the road in Hamilton. The same must be said about the Toronto Argonauts this year, thanks to their new ownership.
First time they've broken the 30,000 barrier this year, and pops their average up well over 25,000 for the year. So
2 years, you'll have a new stadium in Toronto. Allen, no one home. So they'll have to kick it away if they indeed do kick it, although there is a flag on the play, and that could be interference on the far side of the field. Let's see what the officials think.
Oh, it is.
Look at that. And so, in what might have been a 2-point
illegal
conversion,
contact on a receiver. Hamilton 26. First down.
Moves the football.
Illegal contact on Diedrich Mathis, the corner. I mean, you start to look at the penalties in this game, and you know, they got lucky with that punt by Borum where they pinned Toronto deep after they got brought back for holding. But how many times has Danny McManus been in 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 2nd and 20, 2nd and 20, and now this penalty when you're going to get the ball back at least at midfield.
Out of the backfield is Avery. Or perhaps they might have even been thinking about giving up 2.
Oh, absolutely. They certainly, that could have come into the equation. I mean, Rod, you look back to the history right here and the difficulty that Hamilton's had at winning at Sky Dome, not having won since July 20th of 2001. When you're desperately trying to fight your way back into a game, these penalties have just enormous magnitude right now and could very well affect the outcome of this game as we wind down the third quarter.
Allen to Miles again. The former Ticat has done the bulk of the pass catching tonight for the Argos. 11-yard pickup, another first down. Robert Baker has caught one. Andre Talbot they have not gone to Andre Rison yet tonight.
Now that was a good trade for both teams. When Tony Miles came to Toronto, Joe Montford went to Hamilton. Randy Bowles, a fullback, was also in that deal. He is not here any longer, but you know, that was a good trade. Tony Miles wanted to move, Montford wanted to get back to Hamilton, and it really worked out well for both sides.
Twin eye on 1st and 10 and nowhere to go. Tony Miles is 5 of Damon Allen's 8 completions here tonight. There's Tony Miles. Missed 5 games with a fractured left ankle. Tony Miles. They're happy to have Tony Miles back in the lineup. Miles in the backfield. Andre Talbot wide left, and Joe Montford jumped, or was he lured offside?
Well, again, you know, if it is Montford, I mean, these penalties are just starting to pile up.
Hamilton 53. Second down.
Well, you got 2nd and 9, and a tough situation for Damon Allen, who hasn't been overly effective, but essentially Montford gives you a bit of a freebie because now you really bring the run equation back into it, although, I mean, you'll most likely throw, but yet again, you get a 2-dimensional offense where you had them in certainly 1-dimensional.
14 penalties for 124 yards for the Ticats. Allen backpedaling to Miles again on 2nd and 4. Looks like another first down. The end of the third quarter. 29-17 Toronto on Wendy's CFL Live.
At the Quarter, brought to you by Reebok, the only brand that hangs in every CFL locker.
Well, Toronto moving the cane just a little bit, which we have not seen a lot of. And in fact, with all their points, 29 of them, only 1 offensive touchdown so far tonight, Chris.
Right you are, David Randolph, and I think really the third quarter defense for the Hamilton Ticats has played a significant role. Let's take a look at John Avery, totally redirecting the other way. Nice job, Jordan Goss, open field tackle, and then against the pass, Joe Montford, great finesse move, tips the ball. All the sustained drives right now, this last one by the Argonauts has been enhanced by penalties. credit Hamilton's defense, good third quarter.
And now I want to give some credit to Hamilton's offense, Chris,
Yes.
and what they're doing to a very interesting Toronto defense. And I want to show you what Hamilton's doing to try and beat them. Here's what Toronto likes to do. They take 3 guys here and then against any 2 receivers into the boundaries. So what does Hamilton do? They run a couple of in patterns to try and keep this cornerback out of the picture. So now it's 2-on-2, a little more even. So here comes the in patterns. Now, they're going to go 1-on-1 here. And now in Fletcher, instead of going 1-on-1, he is looking at the quarterback. And this is the reason why Flick is able to circle in around him into the hole and McManus finds him. It's a nice scheme and a nice way to defeat a defense that's designed to outnumber how many receivers you have into the boundary, Dave.
12 points is not a whole lot, as we all know. We last saw a big rally, I should say, in Montreal, with BC coming back down 20 at one point. They didn't have the lead until the very end of the game. So hang in there. There's a lot on the line for both these teams. Fourth quarter coming right up.
Now this is nice. Not a thing to think about. Except maybe soundproofing. And plumbing. What the heck? Why not renovate the whole bathroom? You're a handy woman. You have vision. Make it happen with Rona, the how-to people.
Well, these are the numbers after 3 quarters of play, and probably a few of the most surprising things is to think that, you know, Hamilton with a great rushing team, only 54 yards. Toronto gives up the most yards of any team, but really, you know, they just haven't been able to do that down so much early. In Toronto, I think offensively, they haven't quite known what to do after being up 21-0 early in the first quarter.
Tony Miles wrestled to the turf by Chris Martin.
You know, I don't think Damon Allen, you know, looking at those offensive numbers, you know, he's saying, look, I just want to protect the football right here. We had a big lead, and all of a sudden you kind of lull yourself to sleep. Rod, I don't believe he's really thrown a ball more than 20-25 yards downfield tonight. Nothing vertical whatsoever against this Hamilton defense.
But he still has looked pretty sharp, Damon Allen, in his comeback game as a starter. And a big stop there by Tim Cheatwood and the Hamilton Tiger Cats will make Toronto kick the football away.
Yeah, and watch what Hamilton does on second and short. Cheatwood normally goes this way. Watch how he slashes down, and he creates absolute havoc. I swear they saw something in films that said in this situation they like to run this trap play to the outside to Avery. Cheatwood read it perfectly. He was in the backfield, made the play, and once again, Chris Hardy, the adventure continues as the backup punter tonight.
Last time they came very close to blocking this. Goss is back. Sandy Beveridge was the guy last time, 37. High kick. Goss. Down the sideline. Still on his feet and made a lot out of what looked like a loss. 28-yard return, a 39-yard kick. Let's go down to Clark. Clark?
Well, guys, you briefly talked about the Purolator sacks leader, and Jim McIntosh, the GM for Purolator in the Toronto area, is here to talk about the Tackle Hunger campaign tonight, which, of course, is donating the weight of quarterbacks in food for every sack that each team gets. And so far, Damon Allen's been sacked 3 times by the Ticats, which means at 190 pounds per, that's 570 pounds to the Toronto Food Bank. Can you just talk about what your campaign's about?
Yeah, sure. As Canada's largest career organization, we're really happy to be able to alleviate hunger across Canada. We're partnered with the CFL. To date this year, we've raised $65,000, 40,000 kilograms of food. We're not done yet. We're real happy to be with the CFL as partners to help people across Canada.
Sounds like a great cause, guys.
Yeah, it is, and thanks to Purolator. And you can say all you want about the Canadian Football League and, of course, the renewed interest in what's happened the last couple of years. Terrific sponsors, benevolent sponsors help too. Mike Moriali on that last play got a first down and a dump pass this time to Troy Davis. Gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a little more, half-yard pickup. So McManus will be throwing again.
Well, it just seems like other than a few drives when he's had reasonable first down production, Danny McManus has been in second and long the entire evening, and you know, here we go again.
19 and 27, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's kind of been the career ratio, actually. McManus out of trouble. Into coverage and almost more trouble as he was looking for Fleck.
Well, tough to second guess Danny McManus because he's had such a brilliant career, but as he broke loose and broke containment, he had some room himself. Now, he's not the fastest guy in town, but right here he has a little bit of room with Troy Davis in front, and he had Mike Morreale underneath, but again, into double coverage. I mean, you're asking DJ Fleck to make some kind of miraculous play on the football that he just wasn't capable of doing.
So McManus and the Ticats trying to pin the Argos again. Bashar Livingston back at his 3-yard line. Jamie Borum at his 45. Line drive punt this time. Livingston finds room again. High stepping up to the 33-yard line. It's 29-17 with 11:38 go.
Vote now for the Rogers Player of the Game using your Rogers wireless phone. Type the first letter of your player's city and his jersey number. Then send to Go CFL or vote online at CFL.ca.
Play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. You could win Prima's 27-inch super flat TV with MTS stereo sound, digital comb filter, DVD-ready component input, and front and rear audio video jacks. Swipe your club card at Safeway today.
Wendy's CFL Fantasy Football. Register free all season long at FSN.ca. Pick from 2 CFL Fantasy Football games, casual or hardcore. With great weekly and monthly prizes, there's more than just bragging rights on the line. You could win a Sony 42-inch Grand Vega TV or the ultimate dream workshop from Porter Cable. Think you know Canadian football? Prove it. Get to CFL.ca or FSN.ca for Wendy's CFL Fantasy Football and sign up now.
How was the heartburn?
It's gone. I took Tums.
That was fast.
Interesting thing. When you ingest Tums, it goes directly to the acid in your stomach and actually converts it partially to water. And Tums contains calcium, something your body uses anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, you sure gonna be
Tums knocks out heartburn fast. That's all you really need to know.
Now there's new Tums Smooth Dissolve. It's so silky smooth, you have to try it to believe it.
Well, James Gandolfini stars in the new episode of The Sopranos, Sunday at 10 on CTV. Down the dial. Viewer discretion is advised. Toronto Argonauts get the football back again. They have punted over their last 7 possessions. Scored 28 points in the first quarter. Only 1 point since. That was in the second quarter. Penalty flag on the play here. Offside on Toronto. And of course, in a couple of years, the big news here in Toronto this week was the fact that the Argos will have a new stadium for their owners, their new ownership. But it's not going to be downtown at Varsity Stadium. It's going to be out at York University.
Well, the initial drawings are spectacular, and Howard Sokolowski, David Cinnamon, the owners, Tom Wright, the commissioner, was on hand along with President Keith Pelly to make the announcement, and they hope to be operational, all things being equal, for the beginning of the 2006 CFL football season. And 25,000 seat stadium combined with as a soccer facility that the Canadian Soccer Association will be a part of, and drawings look pretty good.
Potential of hosting a Grey Cup game as well. Avery. John Avery might break one here. He does, up to midfield. John Avery looked like he was going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. Scampers for 27 yards.
Well, Rod, there's been a lot of little things in this game that may become big things when the final outcome is told, because Donovan Carter right there had a good chance to stop Avery and they would have to punt, but Avery is so elusive and he's good for 1 or 2 of these a game, but you look at missed tackles and missed opportunities through penalties, and that's the reason why Hamilton's trailing.
Hands inside to Avery again, and a couple of flags on the play. Well, that stadium at York University, the plans look great. There has been some criticism about
holding. Toronto 65. First down repeated.
Sandy Annunziata about the accessibility, transit accessibility to York University for some people, especially with Skydome so available to people on subway lines. What will be accessible, though, is a lot of parking.
Yeah, I believe they said there's something like 10,000 spaces on the weekend when the students aren't at school.
Allen again throwing. Open again is Tony Miles. Tony Miles seems to be the primary target for Damon Allen here tonight. Well, the Argos' next home game, will it mean anything? If this score stays true, their next home game against the Montreal Alouettes will just be a warm-up. But tickets are all available for the next home game a week from now against the Owls, who need to get it going before the postseason. They'll host the Eastern Final at Olympic Stadium. Allen, looks like a holding call, launching for Miles. And another flag on the play, and once again it looks like a holding call. And that game next week.
Holding. Toronto 67. Penalties declined. Third down.
Could mean a lot or could mean nothing, depending on the final score. And also for Hamilton, if this score stays the way it is, we might see large diets next week of some backups.
Well, you know, I'm not so sure that'll happen, Rod, because for the simple reason that, you know, it is Toronto and Montreal. Toronto obviously would anticipate they would win a semifinal and would go down to play in Montreal. And to me, and as a player, these are all precedent-setting games. Even though it may mean nothing in the standings, it will mean a whole lot for getting the upper hand mentally when you go to play a team.
You don't want to go into the postseason on a downer.
And that's what Montreal's doing right now. I mean, they've lost 3 in a row, and they've got Ottawa at Olympic Stadium this weekend.
Hardy, short kick this time. Out of bounds. Around the 30-yard line. Ticats trying to scrape back.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Sports Center Newsroom. I'm Darren DeTish, and we're going to get you back to Skydome in just a moment or two. Let us bring you up to date in Game 7 of the NLCS. The Cards and the Astros battling for the right to face the Boston Red Sox in the World Series. First inning, first batter. It is Craig Biggio, and it's gone. Just inside the pole. A homer to lead it off, 1-0 Astros. Top of 2. A 2-on for the Astros. Brad Osmus with a shot to deep center. Looks like it's going to drop at Jimmy Edmonds with an unbelievable diving catch to save a pair of runs. Top of 3. Jeff Bagwell flies one to Edmonds. Beltran would tag. Edmonds with the throw. It gets by Scotty Rowland. Beltran will score to make it 2-0. The Cards have cut that lead in half. It is now 2-1 as they continue to play. As I mentioned, the next edition of SportsCenter will come your way immediately following tonight's football game. We will have all your highlights and more. We'll see you then, folks.
Suddenly, everywhere you want to go seems a lot closer. Introducing the American Express Aeroplan Plus cards. You can earn up to 60% more Aeroplan miles. And when you earn faster, everything gets closer.
Tonight's game story brought to you by Sport Check, proud supporter of the CFL.
Well, Bashar Livingston, a couple of touchdowns on kick returns. Damon Allen, 89th career rushing. The one I love, though, Danny McManus, over 50,000. Don Lancaster, Damon Allen, the only other CFL quarterbacks to do that. And Craig Yeast, with his 2 touchdown receptions, has brought Hamilton back to respectability in this game.
McManus going long for Gilliam. Bumping there with Adrian Smith.
And Adrian Smith did a super job just to keep enough pressure and leverage with his body that Dondre Gilliam could not work back to the field and try to make a play on the football.
The 2 defenses here have really settled into this ball game.
Well, I mean, you know, look at the difference in the game. It's 2 kick returns for touchdowns and a Clifford Ivory interception. I mean, and those are great plays and you never take them away. But that's 21 points that Hamilton would say we gave them. I know Toronto earned them, but Hamilton would say we gave them those points.
McManus over the middle, picked off by Mike O'Shea. O'Shea brings it down to the 12. The veteran, Mike O'Shea, and now we've got a brawl down below. And just like the Labor Day Classic, tempers are frayed here. And the former Ticat takes one almost to the end zone off of his old teammate, Danny McManus.
Well, and the key here, here's Mike O'Shea. They all fake up in here, they fake up in here, and then he drops back, and all he's doing is reading the eyes of the quarterback. Look how he keeps his eyes right on McManus. He's pointing out, go here, go there. And then when the ball is in the air, he reacts to it. He makes his 3rd interception of the season. And this might be the one that really does it, although there's 8 minutes to go. The Toronto Argonauts defense have made a lot of good plays tonight.
Unnecessary roughness, Toronto number 12. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton 69. First down.
So Jonta Woodard and Adrian Smith going at it. Saw off the penalties. Mike O'Shea, though, another pickoff here tonight. And you have a feeling, you know, Hamilton's had a number of opportunities. The Argos have only had 1 point on the board since that first quarter explosion. That if Damon Allen takes them to the house here, the W would be Toronto's. But 8 minutes still to go.
The 4th quarter is brought to you by Kellogg's Vector. Vector, official food energy of the CFL. Fuel up.
You know, Ron, it's interesting. 2 of the 3 interceptions that Toronto's had tonight, O'Shea's and one of Clifford Ivory's, have been simply getting your drop in pass coverage and reading the eyes of the quarterback and breaking on the football. And you know, a great lesson for young DBs. If you get your drop, then you can look into the backfield and react to the ball in the air.
Allen looking in the end zone, and it hit the goalpost. Was looking for Robert Baker, but hit the upright. And now we'll bring out Chris Hardy for a field goal try.
Well, we watched him at halftime, and he was a little shaky from 40. He was about a half he would make, but I mean, this is certainly a pretty much of a chip shot for him at 18 yards.
So a chance for his first ever field goal in the Canadian Football League.
Well, he looks good. I mean, I give him some style points tonight.
Again, thrown into the fire with the injury to Noel Prefontaine. This could be a big field goal in the final equation of this game. And he got it. So the lead is now 15.
Take the Vector CFL Challenge to get into game shape and to burn and earn your free Vector heart rate monitor, a $30 value. Collect UPC codes on any Vector product. Then go online to access professional training programs developed by Team Vector players and certified CFL trainers, including agility, strength, energy, speed, and power. Burn your way through 5 training programs and you'll earn your free Vector heart rate monitor. So take the Vector CFL Challenge, fuel up, and get into game shape.
The Coors Light Brewing Company salutes the Buddy.
I have told a ridiculous lie.
to back up a friend's ridiculous lot.
I have slept outside.
Because a friend put a sock on the doorknob.
I have never hooked up with a friend's sister.
More than once.
I have been a friend.
By being with my friends. Girlfriends.
Friend.
The Coors Light Brewing Company is proud of all the brothers from different mothers and the easy drinking taste of the ice-cold Silver Bullet.
Wendy's has a simply delicious way for chicken lovers to enjoy chicken. Our home-style chicken strips. Strips done Wendy's way. They're 3 big, tender pieces of juicy breaded whole season breast filet flavored with our own blend of home-style seasonings. Delicious by themselves or dipped in one of our 3 tasty sauces. Creamy Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, or spicy Southwest Chipotle. Wendy's home-style chicken strips. It's better here. And our pickup window is open late.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats need a couple of touchdowns if they want to give themselves any chance at hosting the East semifinal in a couple of weeks. Rob Hitchcock knows what home field advantage will mean in the postseason. It's huge to a team with designs on a Grey Cup. McManus out of the backfield to Davis. Well, since 1970, only the Montreal Alouettes have gone to a Grey Cup game without home field advantage. And only 5 times has a visiting team won the East semifinal.
That's pretty strong.
Tells you a lot about that home field advantage in the playoffs. And the Argos know it too. Davis, stutter step, fumble, and the Argos have it. And another turnover, and that could be it. Orlando Steinauer picking the ball up. 6 minutes to go, and the Argos look like they're going on their way to victory.
If good things come to those who wait, then great things come to those who hurry. The Mitsubishi year-end clear-out is here, and there's never been a better time to get great deals on all remaining 2004 Mitsubishis. For a limited time, come in for incredible offers, like 0% purchase financing for 60 months on all remaining new 2004 vehicles. So don't wait. Visit the Mitsubishi year-end clear-out today. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Welcome back. Movement on the line as the Argos get the football back again tonight.
I think you can see a good example of textbook tackling tonight by Argos. Fletcher wouldn't let Davis get to the outside. He knew he had help from the inside, and between O'Shea and others, they create the fumble. Steinauer with the recovery, but I think the Toronto linebacking core and secondary have had a textbook tackling evening.
Look at the turnovers. 5 by the Tiger Cats, just 1 by the Argos. And that was a turnover on downs early in the football game. And dropped pass that time. Arland Bruce, who has not been as loud as he has normally been in the last few games for the Toronto Argos. Tony Miles has done the bulk of the receiving tonight.
And all those numbers translate into 191 yards a game of offense, which has been a much-needed boost for this Toronto team since he came back and signed as a free agent midway through the season.
Team that desperately needs offense. 2nd down and 15. Allen looking end zone. For Miles, no.
Boy, Diedrich Mathis was pretty cool on that play. He had nice position on the outside hip. Came over the top at the end to knock the ball away, but that was pretty cool. He was under fire deep in the end zone.
So now Chris Hardy's going to come out and try to make it 2 for 2 on field goals as an Argo. Again, the Argos will wait over the next couple of days to check out the status of Noel Prefontaine, their all-star punter. And of course their kicker. Now this is from the 40
This will test his range, because I mean he was kind of hit and miss at halftime when he was warming up out here from the 40 by himself. That's a good kick.
Kick is up, and it's good. How about that? And with 4:51 to go, that might be too much for the Tiger Cats to overcome. An 18-point advantage.
This winter, don't let the weather get the best of you. Fight back with a new Michelin X Ice tire. Available now at Canadian Tire.
Well, Chris Hardy, who is normally a backup member of the secondary for the Toronto Argonauts, when your number's called, you have to play. You have to rise up, and he certainly has done that here tonight.
Yeah, I concur completely. He has done a terrific job punting and he's been good on the kickoffs.
Troy Davis fumbles again. Carl Coulter picks it up, and turnover is costly for the Tiger Cats tonight.
Well, it's been an interesting game. The Ticats in the second quarter came alive and really made it an interesting contest for the most part. But penalties and turnovers really have hurt Greg Marshall's team tonight. They had a chance to get back in. They were close. They were 12 points at one stage.
McManus open as yeast. He's got it, and he'll go to the end zone. Third touchdown of the night for Craig Yeast. 75 yards. Danny McManus says 1 point or 2.
My, oh my. I mean, most likely these are just going to look good in the statistical story for tomorrow's newspaper.
Well, you never know. This is the CFL.
No, you never know. And you and I have been around long enough.
Baby,
certainly I've been around long enough to know that it can happen. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. What a night for Craig Yeast. He was trying to go over 1,000 yards coming in at 9:34. I'd say he did it rather easily.
Smashed it, I'd say.
He smashed it.
So they'll go for 1 point. And again, inside 4 minutes, it can be a long time in the CFL. Do not put the W in so fast for the Argos.
I'd put it in. I just got a double clutch now on that long pass.
35-24.
Hey, great party, man. Lots of ladies, huh? Oh, she's got hungry eyes, and I am an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Small can, strong beer. New Molson Canadian 6.0 cold shots.
Well, you have to admire the tenacity of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Down by 11 now.
You know, Rod, if you look at the numbers there, it is a 2-possession game. I mean, touchdown, 2-point field goal. That's 11.
Sounds like a basketball
Now-
game here all of a sudden.
Now, you know, tie is good because that gets him into overtime, which I wouldn't mind tonight.
We have seen it all here. Craig Yeast has put on a show. Bashar Livingston putting on a show earlier. There's Livingston. Now, Paulo Juarez has probably been watching this game here tonight. Livingston brought back the opening kickoff. And if he brings back another, in fact, if anybody brings back another, the Calgarian will win $1 million. Wouldn't that be something? Here's Arlan Bruce, who just wants to hang on to the football. 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, Craig Yeast with 3 touchdown receptions tonight. You know, he was just under 20 yards coming in a catch tonight. Now he's right on 20 yards a catch, and there's how he ranks with the other receivers in the league. His buddy Archie Amerson, who's not playing tonight, is right up there as well. And what a year Jason Tucker's had in Edmonton. I mean, is he not exciting to watch? Sylvain Girard, young receiver in Montreal.
A great game last week against the BC Lions.
What a catch he made.
A couple of them, yeah. One in the end zone was unbelievable.
Well, Toronto now, I mean, the message is clear. really haven't marched the football with a great deal of efficiency tonight. In fact, it's been a rather lackluster offensive performance for Damon Allen and his crew. But, you know, you're down under 3:30 to go. You'd love to think as a playoff caliber, championship caliber team, this is where you put a few first downs together and work the clock.
35-24 Argos. Avery dancing. John Avery still dancing. Avery scurries down the sideline and a huge gain for John Avery. 51-yard pickup. Again, making a whole lot out of what looked like nothing at the beginning.
Well, it really didn't look like a lot, but if you stay with your man, that's all you need to do as an offensive lineman, because John Avery will somehow find a crack to squirt through, and he certainly did that. The double tight ends has been good for the Toronto Argonaut offense tonight. And Avery with an absolutely nifty move. And when they needed to grind it out, they were able to do it. 100-yard plus evening for John Avery,
who's having the kind of night that Troy Davis had on Labor Day. Kent Austin shouting signals, an 11-point Argo lead and a timeout on the field.
Vote now for the Rogers Player of the Game using your Rogers wireless phone. Type the first letter of your player's city and his jersey number. Then send to GoCFL or vote online at cfl.ca.
How did it come to this? All these different antifreeze formulas, all these different colors. This stops now. Big Yellow's taking over. What are you talking about? Trust me, Sally. Trust Prestone's go for all makes, all model cars.
Big Yellow don't take over. I take over.
New Formula Prestone. Good for all makes, all model cars. Mixes with any color antifreeze.
Oh, Big Yellow could take over. You know, whichever.
Trust Prestone for your own protection.
You thought you bought a house, but what you really got was the habitat of H2O, the dwelling of dampness. Take charge. You're a handyman. Fix the roof, change the lighting. Add a splash of color. Make it happen with Rona, the how-to people.
Reebok, the only brand that hangs in every CFL locker.
Stamps Lions, Wendy's Friday Night Football, tomorrow on TSN.
Well, it is the second last week of the season, and then the playoffs. Wendy's CFL Live. Blue Bombers in Edmonton to play the Eskimos. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time, Sunday on TSN. Final 3 minutes here at Skydome tonight. And the Argonauts threatening to add some more points to their total here. Tiger Cats looking for a hold. And they are going to need some kind of finish if they have any hopes of hosting this semifinal in a couple of weeks. Avery gobbled up. Marcus Spencer. And the East, of course, looks like it's going to be Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, Ottawa. The West, we know BC will finish first. And then go figure. Edmonton, Winnipeg still in. Saskatchewan holding the advantage right now for second place. Second and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Avery bursting outside. And a hard hit there. There had been Justin with the hit on John Avery. And once again, Chris Hardy, who has never kicked a field goal, has had an attempt in the past, but has never made one successfully, is 2 for 2 here tonight and could make it 3 for 3, and more significantly, make it a 2 converted touchdown lead.
Well, he has looked very smooth. I mean, his technique on these field goals is great. He's got good timing, and it's been fun to watch. I mean, because he's been thrust into a very, very difficult situation.
From the 30.
He's good again.
Guess what? Chris Hardy, 3 for 3. And you might have thought that Noel Prefontaine's injury would have spelled some doom here tonight for the Argos. Take away those 9 points, and Greg Marshall's team really only needs a converted touchdown.
10 wins.
Are you giving it to him now?
Yep, I'm giving it to him now.
All right.
Minute and 50 to go. And now the challenge becomes, when would they play the semifinal? There's a concert here at Sky Dome on Sunday the 7th, and they're talking Friday the 5th now.
It looks like Friday the 5th.
Which brings up
the Wiggles are in town.
The Wiggles are, yeah, you'll be there front row, I'm sure, for the children's concert.
I mean, football fans are hating that move, but my kids love the Wiggles.
Well, you know, the interesting thing it brings up is that to finish the season, Toronto hosts Montreal here next week, and we'll have that for you on TSN. But if they, in turn, then have to play on the Friday night, that means Toronto will have 8 days between games. Hamilton finishes their season, I believe, on Saturday night. So they have 2 days less to get ready. So a little unfair to the Ticats in that regard.
Cats need a touchdown quickly, then an onside kick, and really a couple of Hail Marys here. But get ready for round number 4 in the playoffs. And if the Tiger Cats showed anything here tonight, is that they will not roll over.
No, they won't. And I think, you know, I think whether they can correct it or not is one thing, but they must know that, you know, they trail by 14, but they had so many bad things go against them. I mean, the penalties were atrocious at terrible times, and the turnovers, 5 of them, you know, you like to think that you can correct that, although with Danny Mack, I mean, he sometimes will cough it up. But so you get turnovers, you get terrible penalties, and you get kick returns for touchdowns. You got to say to yourself, look, we can fix these things.
Those 2 touchdowns by Bashar Livingston are the difference in the ball game right now.
Without question.
The only offense generated by the Argonauts, offensive touchdown, was a 1-yard plunge by Damon Allen.
You see, though, I think, though, the difficult thing is when you're up, as I said earlier, when you're up that many points early in the game, all of a sudden
it's
you
hard.
Start thinking, like, you know, don't do anything stupid here. Don't turn the ball over. And they haven't. Maybe once on downs, but I think that's almost equally as tough to play offense in that situation from early in the game than if you're trying to catch up later.
Hard to hold a big lead.
It is.
DJ Flick out of bounds. So, again, Danny McManus, you know he will not give up till the final gun.
Toronto's made some mistakes in the secondary tonight, letting Craig Yeast get so wide open, and you know, obviously Rich Stubler, and they'll want to correct those. But what I think Coach Clements is going to be as happy about with his defense is they really tackled well. When they dumped the ball off, as you suggested and wanted to see, well, they did that. But Toronto's really tackled well this evening.
2nd and 2 yards to go, trying to get the first down. It looks like they're short.
How many 2nd and 3rd opportunities have you seen Hamilton receivers or running backs have tonight running with the football? You just haven't seen it.
Again, 1 week to go. Toronto hosts Montreal. Hamilton plays Ottawa. And then battle of the Golden Horseshoe once again. Winner gets Montreal.
You know, like, as before the game tonight, we were talking to people down the field. In fact, we were talking to David Cinnamon, you and I, the co-owner of the Argonauts, and you know, we all kind of agreed that the way the league has been this year, and maybe take away Hamilton's performance tonight, but you know, we think, you know, there's 5. I mean, Cinnamon thinks his team's going to win the Grey Cup, but there's maybe 5 or 6 teams that maybe could win the Grey Cup this year.
Anybody's cup right now. Well, normally you look at those first 2 teams, and the last couple of years that's worked out that way, but Remember Calgary a couple of years ago going to the Cup after an 8-10 season and winning it?
Marcus Crandall.
That could happen again.
Yeah, it could. And you know, I look out west, and you know, I love the BC Lions. I think Buono's a great coach, and they've got a solid quarterbacking situation. But and I look to Saskatchewan, they're going to host a playoff game. It looks as though they're going to host it. But how about Edmonton? You know, you've got a great receiving core there. If you get a hot Jason Moss, you know, all they need to do is win 2 in a row, and they're in the Grey Cup, and they could do that, although they've been very inconsistent.
Gilliam trying to stretch for the touchdown, but comes up short. 43 seconds to go. The Cats score and get an onside kick. There still is a shot. There still is some hope, albeit a glimmer.
Well,
and
he's
into the end zone.
So here we go.
So now we look for the onside kick. Again, the Ticats will not go down without a fight. And that might be a precursor for November the 5th, that indeed is the date of the Eastern semifinal.
Well, they've got to make this extra point here. And then what I think is one of the most exciting plays in football is the onside kick.
And Danny McManus has been the king of the comebacks through the years.
Well, they have their timeout still in place.
Well, now a 7-point game. And 37 seconds to go. Cats still breathing. And Dutchie and Holly Horton standing by. Sports Center following football. Game 7. The National League Championship Series. The Boston Red Sox waiting in the wings. Will it be Houston or St. Louis?
Well, there's Jerome Erdman in the middle of that pack, the special teams coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, getting his troops ready. A lot of people will be in there that are used to handling the football. There's Jerome. And on the other side of the coin, the Toronto Argonauts will counter with their hands team. They'll have at least 10 people up front that are equally as used to handling the football.
The Argos have not had a major score since that first quarter. All the scoring via Chris Hardy and Noel Prefontaine with a single in the second quarter. He left the game after this, so here we go. If the Cats recover, they have a shot. And it looks like the Argos have the football. Toronto ball.
Oh, and it was up for grabs. I mean, there was a tip. And was it Steinhauer?
Robert Baker was in the mix. Let's take a look.
Well, a good kick by Borum. I mean, nice and high where his team can get down underneath it. The ball is tipped by Steinhauer, and Baker makes the recovery.
If Robert Baker isn't there, that's knocked out of bounds by the Cats. It's their ball.
That was a fabulous kick. I mean, that had tons of airtime, and you know, I mean, I truly think that is one of the most exciting plays.
Well, now the Argos with 36 seconds should be able to take it down. The Hamilton Tiger Cats and Argos do not like each other very much. Remember the bad blood from Labor Day. They might best keep their tempers under control and get ready for the Eastern semifinal. And I know the Argos are thinking, you know, we had a big lead on this Tiger Cat football team and almost let them come all the way back.
Well, again, I think Hamilton will go away saying, you know what, this could have been our game. And for Pinball Clements, again, one of those situations where offensively you just kind of lull yourself to sleep with all those touchdowns being scored on special teams and by your defense.
Well, again, maybe there is a concern about the Argonauts offense, and it has not been a good offense all season long. Last in points, yardage, and first downs.
Well, I think tonight more than anything for Coach Clements and Kent Austin, the offensive coordinator, the strategy's been, you know, really kind of what slowed them down a lot, because I bet you they've been in double tight end 60% of the time tonight, and that's more conducive to the running the football, and you better be getting a lot of yards if you want to keep drives going.
If there is a real positive for their offense, though, number 20, John Avery. Talk about a redeeming game after last week against Calgary.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that passing yards, almost 300 yards more for Danny McManus.
Well, I guess the difference is Toronto hasn't had to throw.
Damon Allen better look out.
Well, they'll call timeout right now. 12 seconds remaining.
So 12 seconds.
And now, with Chris Hardy coming in.
This is still not over.
Another little beef.
And again, more jawing. Damon Allen knew he had to eat some of that clock, but the quarterback got hit again.
Yeah. And I don't believe Hamilton has used their timeout.
So Jason Goss will go back. Damon Allen looking to the sidelines. And once again, into the fray comes Chris Hardy. And isn't this interesting? With 12 seconds to go, this one still is not in the books. Goss has come off the field. They are setting up a block here. No one back to return. Their only hope is to block the kick. Now Goss was on the field. He's walked off. Hardy talking with Mike O'Shea. And they are going to bring this clock down as much as they can as well, but you're going to have to get it away because the clock is stopped at 12. No one back. Hamilton looking to block and booted away. 7 seconds.
Well, get on it.
Better get on it. And a flag on the play. So they will, if this is against Toronto, get one more play. If it's against Hamilton, it's game over.
Kind of a strange lineup that you wouldn't have one guy back just to try to save a few seconds.
Get out of bounds as quick as you can. Now here's the official. It's against Toronto.
No yards.
So there will be one last chance.
No yards. Toronto 45. 5-yard penalty. First down.
For Danny McManus and the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And there'll be Toronto Argonaut defensive backs that will not show up in the game film tomorrow. They'll be so far back.
You know that old saying about the opera not being over? There aren't too many fat ladies to sing in the CFL. This is never over.
Well, and again, in one of these situations, you may want to start to try to throw the ball about 15 yards and then start the lateral game going, and that's what they're going to do.
Moriali.
There you go.
Throwing it, fumbled. Game over. Argos win. Argos win second place in the East, and they will host the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The finals 38-31. They played 3 this year, the two teams. And hang on. Is there another flag? There is.
Offside pass. Hamilton 18 is declined.
That's it. Get ready for game 4. Ticats Argos in the Eastern semifinals.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Wendy's, it's better here. By Molson Canadian, I am Canadian. By Rona, the how-to people. And by Rogers, your world right now.
All right, our next game's coming at you tomorrow night. Wendy's Friday Night Football out west in Vancouver, where the Stampeders, coming off a win, will take on the BC Lions. They beat the Lions once already this season. We're on the air 9:30 with the pregame show. The next edition of the TSN Sports Center is coming up immediately with Dutch and Holly. All the news of the day from the world in sports. the Rogers player of the game, as voted by you, with 2 returns for a touchdown, 1 on a kickoff, 1 on a missed field goal. Bashar Livingston. They scored 28 points in the first quarter and never looked back. Toronto finishes second. They'll host the semifinal. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. You are watching GSN, Canada's sports leader.